Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from wherever you may be in the world. And thank you for joining us here for race number 4 of the Platinum Racing League GT3 Endurance Series, powered by X-Sim Racing Private Family Network. The 3 hours of Magny-Cours, what a track this is. And of course, I won't be here on my own. I will be here once again with Max Lovejoy in the commentary booth together with me, and we're looking forward to what will be an absolutely thrilling race. The drivers are coming to the end of practice on the track. The driver briefing for the drivers who are looking or watching at this stream at the moment is being held at the moment. So if you're not in there, make sure you get in there and you attend the driver's briefing. Very important, of course, to be there. But yeah, Circuit Magny-Cours, of course, with corners such as Imola, Nürburgring, a lot of corners named after other tracks, Estoril, Adelaide, of course, Chicane Straight. A very interesting track, 17 corners. I was about to say 16 because, well, the chicane isn't really one, but 17 corners, if we take it officially, on this track. Turn 1, of course, flat out. As you can see, the red stripe on the track map is the start-finish line. And we, of course, go clockwise this circuit, just so you know which way we are going. So turn 1, flat out for the drivers. Turn 2, you have to prepare and you have to start braking for turn 3, Estoril. Then we go on to Golf, turn 4. That's the little kink in the straight we have afterwards. And then Adelaide, of course, turn 5, the sharp right-hander we see. Then we have Nürburgring, which is turn 7. We have a turn 6 in between there. Don't ask me where on the track we have that turn 6. But it seems like it's a little kink between the chicane, Nürburgring, turn 7 and 8. Then we have 180. That's the left-hander, of course, turn 9. Then we have turn 10 and 11. Imola, of course, turn 12 and 13. The other, well, stretched out chicane we have on this track. Then we have turn 14 leading on to the chicane straight. Turn 15, 16 and 17, a very tight complex. And I think something, Max, that the drivers are not going to be looking forward to try and lap drivers around here.
Hello. And yes, it's going to be a tough one. With lapped cars, well, 2 different classes, 2 different speeds. Can have lapped cars, it's not an if, it's a fact. And we'll see how it goes, see where the best overtaking spots are.
A track that, well, it doesn't look as difficult as it definitely is, because it is a very difficult track, let me tell you that. Carlos Merera de la Chica using all the track that is available to him, and he said, I paid to come racing and I am going to use all the track that I need in order for me to set the quickest lap time. We could well see the quickest lap time coming in. The quickest lap time at the moment, by a long shot it seems like, is the lap time by the Valkyrie X-Type team. That lap time was a 136.081, so a very low 36, just not into the 35s. We haven't seen a 35 here yet. And of course in qualifying it's always difficult under pressure to perform that lap time. But do you think, Max, that we will see maybe a 35 out there in qualifying?
Oh yeah, definitely. Low fuel, top speed, yeah, we can see definitely a 35 coming our way.
Well, we're at a 36.081 now. If this is race pace for the Valkyrie X-Type team, they're really far ahead of the rest of the field, because a 4/10 gap usually when we're doing endurance racing is not something that you see often. Of course, thank you everyone once again for joining us on the day where the Daytona 24 Hours is going to be held as well. That's a little bit later on this day for Europeans. That is about 9 p.m. I think, for people that live in the UK or in the GMT time zone. That's about 8 p.m. And for people that live in America, well, I don't know, probably about 2 EST, if I guess correctly, or 2 EST will start. Valkyrie X-Type is, like I said, the one leading the way. Astro Racing Agenzia Moderna, the one we're looking at the moment, a team that is usually up there, and like I said, we could expect an improvement in terms of lap time. and we got one, a 136.315. After that, we have the Kazakhs team Lamborghini. That team, Max, without one of their quickest drivers today.
Yeah, without one of their quickest drivers. He is the lucky one and is actually racing in Daytona. But yeah, Daniel Summer will have the Lamborghini to himself.
Well, Mikko Bortolotti there, the driver who, of course, is at Daytona now racing. Wish him all the best of luck, of course, and that he may stay safe. Of course, we know that real racing is dangerous, so let's just hope with the cars that we have, they're very, very safe. So let's hope that Mikko Bortolotti is going to stay safe and going to get home with a good result. Marco Luna Heredia just got up to P3 for the XPT Emerald Endurance team in the BMW. The Firebird Sim Racing team, of course, they are the leading AM team. Also in the BMW, it seems like the BMW here, especially for the, well, teams in the AM class, a lot of BMWs in there, as that's not quite the case in the Pro class. It seems like, Max, that BMW doesn't quite have the edge in terms of raw speed, but it does seem to be a very easy car to drive for the AM drivers.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, BMW, I believe, off the top of my head, has got 18 cars in both categories. Porsche's only got 16. But yeah, we'll see the difference. Obviously, the two Porsches in the Pro class at the top of the timings at the end of practice.
As always.
As always, yeah. The Porsche look very quick. I think with the Porsche, when you get that setup, when you get the rhythm, when you understand the car, it's almost unstoppable. Where the BMW, yes, it's an easier car to drive, but that limit is just, yeah, you can't proper experience the car as much as the Porsche.
Well, we're going to find out how it's going to be, of course. In the endurance race, we both know that raw speed is not everything. You also have to look after your tires, so we're going to see which car is going to do the best of that. Of course, this is going to be the Lamborghini, is it going to be the BMW, is it going to be the Porsche, or is it going to be the Audi? Or might it be the Mercedes? Of course, one Mercedes in the Pro class, two Mercedes in the Pro class, excuse me. We have one in the name of the Skangstorp Racing by Van Geel's team. And we also have one in the name of the Platinum Racing Academy team in the hands of this man. Simon van Dijk was not liking the car earlier on in the practice session. Let's hope for Simon that he's gotten the hang of that car. And that hopefully he's going to be a little bit quicker in that car than he was at the beginning of practice. Really struggling, that team. You can see it down in P22 as a pro team. That's not where you want to be, is it, Max? Down there in the lower stages of the leaderboard.
No, you do not. Yeah, he should be higher. Maybe he's not gelling with the track. Maybe he's not gelling with the car. Maybe it's a bit of both. Setup might be a bit bad for him, or can't quite get the setup perfect. Maybe just everybody else is faster around the track as he goes into turn 3.
Well, turn 3 is a difficult one. We've talked about it already. Of course, turn 3 being Estoril, and it's quite a long-lasting right-hander. It's going to be very heavy and very demanding from the left front tire as well. It's definitely something that the driver's going to have to look for during the race to prevent and to try and prevent some extensive wear on that car. Here we see drivers coming out of the pit lane. Of course, we are going to take a look, of course, at the driver who was topping the timing sheets during the practice session, of course, to set the quickest lap time at the beginning here. Of course, the Valkyrie X-Side team. T-Boat in that car. T-Boat, we can call him. Prevot, I think that is. Seems to be Luxembourgish. the driver. Always difficult for me to keep the Luxembourgish flag and the Dutch flag, to try and set them apart, because the blue isn't that much different from the Dutch flag.
No, it's not. It's a challenge. It's not just a challenge for the drivers, it's us for the commentators as well. As we see the cars going out the track, as we follow the Valkyrie GT3 with that beautiful, I always imagine it as the American flag, you know, with the eagles and everything like that.
Well, judging by the fact, Max, that this team is called Valkyrie X-Type, I have a feeling it represents some kind of bird, or represents a Valkyrie on the side of that car, like a. That's what I guess. Doesn't have to be the case. I could be completely wrong with that, but that seems to be the theme of the livery. So I have a feeling that is some kind of birdish, well, type of livery, especially the orange on the side. I do have to say I do like it. I do like that livery, and it stands out to all the other ones. As you can see, the last chicane. In real life, you would stay off that sausage curb as much as possible because it is going to ruin the car. Here in Sim, no suspension damage as I know it, so it doesn't seem like it's going to hamper them too much. We just saw coming through the screen there the 046 racing team, the 046 USA XNL team. A team that has been struggling a lot this year. Martin Ray is actually purple in Sector 1. That now gets taken away by, guess who? The Valkyrie X-Type, Thibaut Prévost in the number 177 Porsche.
Yeah, the Porsche is just so quick. They are really, really quick. We've seen that this whole series, they've been dominant. I'm not surprised more people have gone to the Porsche. Especially the Mercs. The Mercs are nowhere. But yeah, I'm surprised most teams haven't moved to the Porsche.
Well, if you change car, I think you lose all championship points, if I'm correct. So I feel that some teams just do not want to change because they are going to lose all their points. Mattia Ubertali is the first one to put an lap time on 138.3. That lap time is not going to stand, I feel. They're on pole position. There we go. Absolute Motor SRP with a 137.534. We're looking, of course, at Thibaut here coming across the line in just a more time. Gets onto the grass. That's not the preferred line through there. Across the line for Valkyrie X-Type is going to be a 136.432. And we're already down to those low 36s here, Max. And I think we might well see those 35s, like you said. But a big gap down to the Kazakh team Lamborghini, 0.5 of a second. The thing that I'm surprised about is the fact that the Absolute Motorsport SRP car, don't know where they are at the moment. They seem to be down the order. Absolute Motorsport Ashley Jr. in the Porsche R8. Oh no, there they are in the Audi, excuse me. They were looking very quick as well in Sector 1. Of course, Kazakh's team Lamborghini quickest in Sector 1. Sector 2 and 3 is quickest for the Valkyrie X-Type. That's not what you want to do. Was improving in Sector 1. So that's not what you want to do on an improvement, but he's going to get another shot at it. Martin Hobson says, should be a good race this. Martin Hobson, of course, the man who will be the loner, and that is what I always say there's so much work going into this, and if you hear like Martin Hobson is going to be on his own the whole day as race control, and that really is a testament to how hard the people work behind the scenes, how hard we work to get this all going, try and get this going in the best way possible. And well, Martin Hobson going to be on the driver briefing, well, has done the driver briefing. He's going to be on race control the whole day, and well, let's hope that the drivers don't make it too busy for Martin Hobson here this evening. But of course, a big thank you to everyone making this possible, to everyone behind the scenes. working on this, because of course, Max, without them, this event would not be possible.
Yeah, thanks to all the drivers, the behind the scenes, the staff, well, everything you can think of and more. Thank you to all of them. Couldn't do it without them. And of course our sponsors as well. But yeah, we're seeing the Valkyrie X-Type team now. No mistakes this lap, I don't think. And turn 5, there you go.
Well, we of course saw that pole position lap. This is the team at the moment in second, Gazak's team Lamborghini. They are, that Lamborghini, I have to say, has always been one of my favorite looking cars. Just the aggressive look of the car, it really stands out of all the others. The Porsche, it's a quick car, it looks fun to drive, but it just doesn't really have that aggressive look that the Lamborghini has, and the Lamborghini really stands out with that. Of course, it doesn't matter how the car looks, we know that in racing, Max. What matters is at the end, the speed across the line, but the Kazakh team Lamborghini not far off. We saw the battle last time round at Silverstone. Sadly, we couldn't watch that whole race. Of course, that's all fixed. The stream should be all good and raring to go. PC's upgraded, and well, as we know, no lagging. We are not looking to do that again, and we've been working hard behind the scenes to get it all going now. Finally, and let's hope that today is finally going to be a stream where we will have no issues. So we will hopefully see this battle throughout, because at Silverstone, I can remember throughout the complete first hour, the gap between the Valkyrie X-Type team and the Kazakh team Lamborghini didn't open up above, what, 2 seconds? That was the biggest that gap was throughout the whole first hour. And well, that's really a testament to how quick and how close it is in endurance racing, especially the slipstream. It's going to help you, Max. So I think if we look back at Silverstone, we're in for another great race.
Yeah, it should be. Silverstone, obviously one of the best overtaking tracks, very fast, and yeah, it should be a great race if anything from last time out says anything about it. But yeah, I was just thinking about the Lamborghini, and I have never liked any Lamborghini they have produced, none of them. But with that livery, it looks amazing.
Yeah. Let's take a look further on in the field. Juan Rodriguez for the Firebird Bread, there it is. But it has to be Bird, but they made a spelling mistake, so that's how they're now registered in the SDK file. They are at the moment in 10th and leading that AM class. Not doing too badly at all, I have to say, with a lap time of 1:37.326. Very close to the top of the field, and well, the gap to P2 in that class, just over 2 tenths.
Yeah, it'll be a close one with the qualifying. Oh wow, that is very close. 4,000
Wow.
a second between Valkyrie X-Type and XBD Emerald Endurance. Porsche versus BMW, the two German giants fighting it out. Even if it's not even the race here, it's qualified and they're still fighting. But yeah, we might actually see a better time across the lap soon on the 378 car. But yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Well, the 177 across the line didn't quite make it. The 378, of course, the Firebird Sim Racing team. That's a striking livery as well, that red one. I have to say, across the line they're going to come, and they, well, it seems like they're not going to improve their lap times. About a tenth slower than they were before, and well, not an improvement, and it's going to be difficult to improve now. Track is going to, well, heat up. Track temperatures are going to start to rise, which, as we know in iRacing, is going to slow the track down. The laps won't be as fast. Of course, people still improving. One of those improvements came in the form of Sean Gardiner in the boosted SimSport TBC car. Across the line he comes again. Can he improve 2 times in a row? Yes, he can. goes to 38.7. That doesn't give him an improvement in terms of lap time. It does give him is a better lap time. It does now go to the head of the Platinum Racing Academy team. Down, Max, in 21st as a pro team. Yeah, let's be honest, not a position where you want to be in.
No pro team. There's something gone wrong with the setup, or the car, or the track's just not working with them. But yeah, there's something wrong there. They should be up there. They should be at least in the top 10. At least.
Juan Manuel Fregames. He is out on track at the moment for Euromos Esports team. We're more than halfway through qualifying now. And he's going to come across the line to set their first lap time. And immediately up into P5. And you can expect to see an improvement from them. The 378 once again busy with an improvement though. Oversteps the mark down into turn 15. And that is not going to be an improvement for him at the moment. Behind him though, Miguel Almeida. He's going to come through the chicane straight. He's going to go now into turn 15. There we go, as BMW on the way.
Oh no. That's not good.
Well, that was an improvement
qualifying
there.
as well.
Yeah, that was an improvement right there for Miguel Almeida. That could have potentially been a top 5 lap time in terms of his first sector times. Immediately back at the track, there's Müller coming across the line as well. At the moment in 23rd, improvement up to 22nd overall in 7th in his class. Carlos Moreno de la Chica jumps to pole position. That is a really quick lap time for the Asterisk Regenza Moderna. Did not expect that with 2 yellow sectors in there, but a purple middle sector was enough for him to jump to the pole. And what a lap time that is. Over a 10th quicker than the Valkyrie X-Type team. And what did I say? Track is heating up, you won't see as much improvements. There we go, we've just seen an improvement for pole position here, Max.
Yes, we have, but it's still not as quick as practice. Valkyrie well, we've seen in practice, can get a 136 flat. We'll see if he's able to do that again. But yeah, amazing lap time from Astro Racing. Again in the Porsche, so it's Porsche, BMW, Lamborghini, Porsche for the top 5 in the Pro class. And yeah, I think that'll be beaten, no offense. I think the track will warm up a little bit more, and yeah, I don't think they're holding that, at least with that time. Oh, and we have a spin.
Someone is also not holding it.
That's Galazet, I believe.
Yes, that's Daniel Zoma in the GazX team. He was also not holding it. He spun coming out of the last corner. And that's so easy to do with the high curbs there in that corner. You really want to cut as much of it to gain that ultimate lap time. I don't think we'll see a lot of drivers doing that in the race because it is tricky. It's very tricky. You could lose a lot of lap time with that. But let's go. A lap down under with Carlos Morera de la Chica. Oh, of course when I say that, he's going to go off and he's going to pull straight back to the pit lane. This is going to be the XBD Emerald Endurance team. Let's see if they're going to come across the line in just a more time. Here they are coming on to turn 15. We're going to try it again. We're going to go a lap down under this time though with the BMW of the XBD Emerald Endurance team. Oh, that is not what he would have wanted. I think that was the Euromaster Esports team coming back on track. Got a little distracted by that, and because of that went off track. The absolute Absolute Motorsport SRP, excuse me, is an 8 at the moment, improving in sectors 1 and 2. Let's see what he can do. Of course, he's aiming for that 136.149 by Asterisk and Genza Moderna across the line. And it's gonna be an improvement, but not in terms of position. Gets himself a little bit close to that pole position time, but not across it. Sven Merck says, I wish the Platinum Racing team boys good luck for today. Sven, of course, thank you for hopping by. Sven, of course, a long servant from the Platinum Racing team. And, well, he's still with us today in the form of Olsen. Of course, sponsors, a long-time sponsor of the Platinum Racing League as well. So thank you for stopping by, Sven. Well, we are looking forward to, if you can, of course, see you back out on track once, if you have the time, because of course we know life is busy at the moment, and well, we'd love to see you back out on track if you get the opportunity. The man in third, we just saw it, XBD Emerald Endurance. We tried to go a lap down under. We haven't been able to do that yet. We'll do that in the race. Ahead of them though is the Trackside Night Riders team. They are in 6th. Daniel Murphy in 6th in that car. That car was not looking too quick last time round at Silverstone. They have found their pace again. They were quick in the first 2 rounds as well, but they just were not there. They just almost didn't turn up in Silverstone. It looked like they didn't practice, or just a lack of practice there, but they just weren't quick. And they found their groove again here at Magny-Cours. They're up in 6th and looking to gain some more positions. Also looking to gain some more positions is Tim Perry in the number 42 Boosted Motorsport Lamborghini. I think, Max, that coming across the line in just a moment's time for this car, he will want to be looking to try and get up into that top 10.
Yeah, it's yeah, he's so close to that top 10. Try and get in front of his fellow Lamborghini driver in the I've just lost train of thought now. Yeah.
Push the motorsport
oh,
team.
No, on the 42 car, across the line, and they do improve, but not enough.
Also, team coming across the line now is the number 213 Lamborghini Valhalla Motorsports, that is, and across the line, jump up into P3 of the class, and that's vital for them to do. Drivers that come across the line now will not be able to finish their laps off. The XBD Emerald team, they will, and someone who is improving, Juan Rodriguez for the Firebird Sim Racing team in the number 378 BMW. He's going to be looking to improve. Across the line, he's going to come in just a moment's time, and we'll see if he can improve. No, he can't. Can't improve. We have gotten down to 136 at the top though. Valkyrie X-Hype at the moment on the pole position. No one improving, it seems like, at the moment. Strengthstorp Racing, Van Geelze, they were improving in sector 1s, but doesn't look like they are going to improve in sector 2s and 3. It's going to be close though. They're not going to be able to finish their lap, I think. They won't. Last one across the line. There we go, that's the
S0 Porsche across the line, and Valkyrie X-Hype is still at the top. Provisional pole position, not a 135 though, which I'm surprised about, but yeah, they're in the pit lane, they're probably, and the check flag's out. So I imagine it'll be Valkyrie X-Hype on pole position. Just like
Luca just got pipped! Max, sorry to cut you off, Luca just got pipped to the pole position. It is not Juan Rodriguez Firebird Sim Racing team on the pole in the AM class. It is going to be Andre Rosa with the Proto Sim Esports BMW. It's going to be on the pole position. This is crunch time now for Juan Rodriguez. Needs to finish his lap well. Needs to find about 8 thousandths of a second in order to improve for him He's going to come into turn 15, 16. He is not improving at all at the moment in that car. He's going to go to pit lane, and that is going to give Andre Rosa the pole position in the AM class at the last lap of qualifying.
Wow. That was, yeah, close one. Very close at the end. 800ths of a second between the first two in the AM class. And yeah, it's close one. Very close. We'll see how it pays off in the race. Is that 800th of a second worth it? He's going to be starting second. It will be a close one. We'll see in the race.
Yeah, well, the race is going to come up for you in just a moment time. We're waiting for qualifying to finish. Well, Max, what can we take away from this qualifying? First of all, Iwan Bremer says, hey Dan, a nice going. Good luck to all drivers today. Of course, all drivers are going to need it at this difficult track. What a pole position by the Race Room Luxembourg champion Kappa. Well, he's doing well, and that was a great lap to just pip into the pole position there at the end of qualifying, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, Excite on pole position once again. Brilliant stuff by the Porsche. Another Porsche pole. Could be another Porsche win, we'll see. Yeah, it will be the battle of the Germans. Porsche, BMW would be the top three in the pro class. So on pole position in the pro class, we had the Valkyrie Excite 177, Tim Bud Prevot, still learning the names, I apologise. In second place is the Carlos Chica in the Astro Racing Agenza Motorsport team, just 900ths of a second off. In third place, we have Mark Luna Heredia in the 182 XBD Emerald Endurance. That'll be the BMW, the leading BMW actually. Daniel Sommer is alone in the leading Lamborghini Gazix team in the 111. In fifth place is Leonardo Marquez in the Raga, I think that's how it's pronounced, in the number 37. And then Fran Parada in P6 in the 122 Euromaster Esports. In seventh place is Daniel Morphy in the trackside. I can't really see the rest of the name because it's got the clouds behind it, but in the 44 car. In eighth place is Miguel Alameda, still learning the European names, so I apologise, in the Ricard Esports Team Orange in the 38. Margione Daniele, Absolute Motorsport SRF in the 83. In 10th place is Tim Perry, I can say that name, in Boosted Motorsport, yeah, number 42 car. Martin Ray, number 11 in the MRP Sim Racing in number 15. In P12 would be Tristan Conning. And in 13th is Maria Abriatelli, Absolute Motorsport Ace. In 14th is the leading car is Andre Rosa, Proto Sim 2. In 15th place, so close to being 14th, but Joan Rodriguez in the Firebird team. In P16 is the pro class Osman Cert, Pushin Box Tifosi, car number 13. In P17 is another pro, Diago F. Teodoro, AZR Motorsport number 22. P18 is the American Darren Rutherford for Valhalla Motorsport. In P19, now we're going into over 2 seconds, Kevin Sibon in the Sport Vision 2020 206, also American. Angel Mora, Engel, sorry, apologies. MBGT G2 Esports Blue, and then in P21 Nick Kirstens in the Platinum Academy Racing in 2020. In P22 is Sean Gardiner in the boosted Sim Sport. In P23, Euros Miller in the Destiny Racing Team PRL. And near the back now to P26, Martin Hobson, Platinum Racing Team Orange. Sorry, I skipped P25, Gino Calinas in 046 Racing USA. Over 4 seconds behind the pace, and of course I forgot P24 as well. I skipped from P23 to P26, but anyway. Pepe Kirstens in the Trackside Esports Orange Team in the 399 Dutch. That's your grid.
Well, we got there in the end. Quite a long grid, isn't it, Max? And a lot of cars to take into account. And well, let's see where these cars are going to shuffle out. You can hear it on board with the leader Thibaut Prévost for the Valkyrie X-Hype team. Fuel saving already going on. Good luck all, says TRX. John Sylvester also says good luck all. And well, can you confirm that Rocker Esports is a Portuguese team? Yes, they are. I can confirm that they are a Portuguese team. We'll be back soon. I have had a break for half a year or something. I don't know, I think this week or next you need to battle me again so I can get on speed again. Have a good one done. Of course, that comes from Sven Megs. Great to hear that Sven will be back once again on the virtual track with all the other drivers who are just finishing off Sector 2, getting into Sector 3, of course, of this formation lap. Well, we're looking forward to the start of another cracking race here at the Circuit de Magny-Cours, now just rounding off. And well, a rolling start. Some drivers, and keep an eye out for it, will get that start in the chicane. That is turn 15 and or turn 16 and 17, excuse me. Turn 15 is the corner we're coming up to now.
Yeah, it's almost like they're bum drafting the safety car. This ain't NASCAR, guys. Keep a bit of distance, but yeah, it's on board or inboard into the final chicane. We'll see how it goes. Into the chicane now, side by side. Not green lights yet. Still rolling, trying to line up the grid. And it's go. It's Valkyrie X-Hype getting a good start on the inside line. We'll see how it goes out into turn 1 and 2. And it's X-Hype in the lead, I think it is. X-Hype in the lead, BMW trying to get round the outside of the pole sitter. Round turn 3, that's in a difficult overtaking spot, but he just can't do it. So X-Hype leading the pack away. Clean start, I think, from further back. And it's going down the... it's going down into turn 5 now. Heavy hairpin, late braking, number 14, Porsche, all nearly contact, but it's all safe for now. The Lamborghini further back is trying to get into the action at the front.
Huge pile up behind, huge pile up behind.
Turn 5, multiple cars off. Lamborghini in the background. There's Ferrari involved as well. Let's see further what's happened there. Destiny Racing Team PRL. That's what I believe involved in that instant.
If I take a look back at where it started with Daniel Murphy. He was quite far up the order. Here we go, already dropped down a lot. Remember, they started in the top 10. Here we go, Daniel Murphy, he's going to outbrake himself. No, he's not. He's going to get touched from behind. And there we go, there's the pile-up. The Asolith Audi touched the Trackside Night Riders from behind. And well, then there's a huge,
another moment
huge
there,
pile-up.
Yeah, and sympathy. But yeah, luckily everybody's still running. Nobody's already crashed out in the first minute. And I believe Valkyrie X-Hype is still leading the way.
Look at that, Carlos Arriveira for Firebird Sim Racing Team. They were in P2 in the AM class. And that is just telling you that qualifying does absolutely nothing to you, because after that incident they were down in a P8. Now they made their way up all the way to P7. Looking back at the front of the field though, it is Valkyrie X-Hype with a bit of a gap already. This gap already bigger than it was all the way through last race in the first hour. So that gap already over a second. The
We'll
XBD
see how
Emerald team.
Astro Racing. We'll see how Astro Racing will take out for the leading BMW. Is of course Mark Luna Herdia in the 182 XBD Emerald Endurance in 3rd place. Now we're watching the leading ARM class, and it is a BMW. So the BMW slipped fast in the ARM class. We'll see how it goes though. Yeah, it's only the first 3 minutes now. It'll be interesting.
First 3 minutes of a long 3-hour race for these drivers. And I can tell you one thing, and that is that Andre Rosa got that pole position and he took it. The gap to P2 in the AM class, look at that. This is P1, Andre Rosa not behind him because that is Martin Ray for the MRP Sim Racing team. And of course, they got champions in the Platinum Endurance Championship as well. Other drivers though in this car, so you'd expect them to perform exactly the same they did in PEG. Of course, putting all the effort in like they would normally, but not the same driver, so it might not be as quick or might even be quicker. Depends on the quality of the drivers in that car. Here is P2 in the AM class though. A very, very long way back from Andre Rosa. He is already going down into turn 5. Darren Rutherford is making his way up the order, closing in though on the Proto Sim Esports team. But slowly but surely is making his way up the order, and he is also quite far ahead of P3, the Trackside Esports Orange team.
Yes, it is, and I want to talk about who is in last place. Obviously, they had an issue. They're further back, but we're watching the 399, Pepe Kirstens, the 399, going side by side, but I have to take it into next layout. Coming up to 180, I believe.
Yeah, this is 180. Sharp left-hander, a tricky left-hander. It's quite tight on exit. It isn't quite a 180-degree corner. It's a little bit more on exit, and that catches some people out sometimes. So very tricky corner to navigate through, but all drivers managing to do so well, and this is still the battle for the lead. And I have to say, the gap is opening up slowly but surely, although Carlos Merida de la Chica is doing everything in his power to be as quickly as possible. We already saw a driver into the pit lane. That was John M. Roberts for the Boosted Sim Sports TBC car.
Platinum Racing Team Orange is out in the Audi.
I think Martin.
What happened there?
That's Martin Hobson. He didn't start. I think that was a mistake on Martin's side. Instead of watching this race as a steward, he decided to register for the race. So now we will see Martin Hobson on the left-hand side with Platinum Racing Team Orange that are out of the race without any time to the board because they didn't get onto the starting grid. Of course, Martin Hobson, just to point it again, the only steward we have here today in the steward's box. But Thibaut Prévost doing an absolutely incredible job for the Valkyrie X-Type team. And, well, I have to say, gap is closed down by Astro Racing Argenzo Moderna, already lapping people, though it seems like it's the Valkyrie X-Type team. That seems to be the XBD Emerald team. The XBD Emerald BMW seems to have dropped down the order. No, that's the Boosted, excuse me. Livery is looking very similar. This is the Boosted Motorsport or the Boosted Sim Sport TBC car, making way for the leader. And this is a good point, I think, to well, recognize that, well, people are going to have to help each other. Oh, that's a big jump from the Valkyrie X-Type team. And look at that, lapping cars and already losing a tenth is the Astro Racing Agenda Moderna Porsche. Porsche seemingly very quick here because the gap back down to the XBD Emerald Endurance team. Here we have them. Now you can see livery's looking very similar with the Boosted Sim Sport. So now you can get why I got confused for a second. Here we go. The BMW is going to make way for quicker BMW in the Pro class. Hopefully the turn 5, there we go. Pulls to the inside, is going to now let off the gas. And here we go. The BMW 182 from XBD Emerald Endurance is through. Can now continue its chase to try and get closer to the leader. Top 3 though, here Max pulling away from the pack.
Yes, they are. Oh, heavy on the curbs there. Pushing hard and hard and hard as much as possible. Yeah, Booster Sim Sport, shame about them. They, I think, were had to go into the pit lane, get some repairs, maybe a bit more fuel in the car, try and last as long as possible. See a new strategy, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. Who are we now watching? We're watching XPD Emerald Endurance in the leading BMW. Got the two Porsches in front. He's got into like that middle ground now, I think. Not really close to anybody behind, not really close to anybody in front. Yeah, as we're watching now, in 10th place Martin Ray in the MRP Sim Sport over the turn 17 curve, very harsh there in the slipstream. Yeah, no big dramas yet, no big crashes. Obviously we've had already one lapped car. He's getting lapped by P4 at the minute. Ricard Esport Team Green leading Lamborghini.
Well, this is the battle for 9th, 10th and 11th overall. You see behind this the Proto Esports BMW already creating quite a big gap to the Valhalla Motorsport Lamborghini. That gap is already about 8 seconds, so very early on in the race, the lead for the AM class not as contended as we thought it would be, but definitely still in a 3-hour race everything can happen. So at the end of the day, you just have to get to the finish line. And MRP gained that position in the Proto Sim Esports car and are now trying to chase down the Skexel Racing by Vakiel's team. Doing well there in that Mercedes, because as we know, the Mercedes not the best car to drive in, is it?
No, he's been complaining about it in practice as well. He just doesn't gel with the Mert, and he's being hampered by the Porsche behind in that beautiful livery, absolutely beautiful grey black. Got a bit of orange I think there as well, or maybe yellow. I'm colourblind, I do apologise. But yeah, the Merc does seem to be a more difficult car to drive compared to the Beamer and the Porsche.
Well, maybe not a more difficult car to drive, just not a car to drive on the edge as easy. And already, we can see the Boosted Sim Sport car getting lapped by a lot of back markers. There's the Boosted Sim Sport off the car, or off the track. Came back on though, but that was a very scary moment, a hard-mouth moment for John and Robertson. What a save there. He just got a little bit of a snap mid-corner and managed to hold it. Lost another chunk of time with that. Is already a lap down on cars ahead of him. And is almost going to be a lap down on the 046 USNL team. Also the Absolute Motorsport Acid team dropping down the order. They seem to be grabbing home. That left rear is not looking healthy. And let's see what happened to them. It is Mattia Ubertali in the car. So let's see if we can see what happened. Here we go. This is where it happened. They're too wide. Oh, just under braking. Car snaps away from him.
The heavy hit.
Yeah, into the tire barrier. And he's going to be crabbing home all the way into the pit lane. Has he made it home yet?
No, he has not. He's still... Where is he now?
Still crabbing. He's down, coming down to turn 15 now.
Yep.
So he is going to be into the pit lane very shortly.
That car looks like a handful to keep in one place, but he's going to be a couple laps down now, I imagine, to repair that car.
Oh no, I think this is coming down into 180. Yeah, this is coming down into 180.
Yeah.
I thought he was already in the last part of the track.
No, he's going down into sector 3 now. He is P24. He's not lost. Let's look at the benefits. He is not lost. He's lost in the pro class, yes.
But I think he is going to be lost now after this because, well, that car is not looking happy. He's crabbing home. And the Boosted Sim Sport is going to come through to unlap itself from them, or to try and overtake them even. And, well, that car is going to be in the pits for a lot of repairs. Look at that, the alignment on that car. If we go on board, if we can find the camera to go on board.
Well, he's into
There we
turn
go.
15
Look at
now.
the steering wheel. Look at the steering wheel. He's going straight now. The steering wheel is a good, well, what do we say? A good 30, 40 degrees to the right.
Yeah, that's got a bit of damage on that car. Driver error, but yeah, he can only blame himself, I think. As his counterpart in the other Porsche, the Valkyrie X-Type, leading the way. Yeah, into turn final. Go! That was very heavy there. Front end lifting up like a rocket ship, blasting out in space. But into turn 1 now. Now into turn 2, heavy braking for turn 3. And yeah, he's still in the pit lane. He's still not lost yet, but he will be. As we're in the chasing car now after raising up Moderna. Chasing car, chasing down the Valkyrie. We've seen these two scrap it out the 6/10ths now between each other. Obviously having the benefit of a slipstream, possible fuel saving, possible tyre saving. We'll see on the strategy later on in the race. But yeah, number 14 Porsche look quick.
Well, this is the second place car that we're looking with. Carlos Moreira de la Chica, the Astro Racing Agenda Moderna team. As we know, Impact, very competitive team, always there, always quick. And they are once again there at the top, 6/10 is the gap. If they can, they've closed that gap down. That gap was about 1.2, so they have closed it. So they have shown that they have pace. But if they need, then they can pull away. But Carlos Moreira de la Chica too happy to stay behind and maybe fuel save a bit now. I haven't heard him clutch in or lift or anything yet. We look behind him, though, this is the BMW. There you can see the two Porsches up ahead. The BMW taking a lot less curb because it doesn't seem to handle the curb as well as the Porsches does.
Porsche can just take that much more curb. It still gets launched in the air, but the BMW I don't think can take as much. But yeah, the Porsche look way faster than they've been in some of at least in this stage of the race.
Well, the leading Lamborghini, here it is, Daniel Sommer. As I said,
Yep, the leading Lamborghini. The aggressive black and red livery. The 111 car, Gazek's team, obviously his teammate is in the real life Daytona, so he'll be doing this on his own. Let's see how that's gonna, maybe he'll make a couple more mistakes at the end, getting tired, but I'm sure he won't. He's a very experienced racer.
Well, this is coming down into 180 again. Daniel Sommer is leading this pack away at the moment, is breaking away a little bit from the Rocker Esports Team Green Lamborghini. We have a Lamborghini who has the Euromos Esports team behind them, a team that we consider to be one of the championship protagonists early on in the season. A team that has proven to be quick, but down in P6 at the moment. Quite yeah, like a little way back from the lead. 11 seconds already is the gap there, so yeah, won't be too happy with that. So we're on board now with Juan Manuel Frey James. Oh, that's a little bit wide from the Lamborghini.
Oh,
Takes full advantage of that. Takes full advantage of the mistake that the Lamborghini made behind. And now it's going to be Leonhard also through. Or Tim Perry, excuse me, for the boosted Motorsports Lamborghini through. He was off the track there. And there's nobody would have won it. It is Leonard Marquez in the car.
I would like to see an off-board replay of that. I think he might have just lost the front end, and the front end just didn't grip for him.
This is the overtake for Daniel Sommer earlier on. Came from quite far back. Here's once again the other mistake.
Oh, just got that left-hand side into the gravel. Obviously, when the
There comes the other Lamborghini.
yeah, just driver error. Got the left-hand side of the car into the gravel. Got it a bit sideways, actually. Well done for keeping it, well, mostly on track. But we're live now.
Picastons! That was P3 in the AM class. That has just gone off track.
Into the wall. Yeah, that was heavy into the wall. Will he have a similar damage to what we saw earlier before in the Porsche?
Well, we're going to stay with Picastons because I have a feeling that going into turn 5, it's going to go off again. At some point, it's going to go off again. There's damage on the right-hand side of that car.
Yeah, he'll have to come in, get that repaired if he can.
At some point, he went off track against it, race control.
He did cut that corner there, so it might have...
Oh no, it's the exact same one.
Just lost the back end. Dirty air, possibly.
It's the exact same incident.
Yeah. Oh, heavy impact. That Lamborghini was lucky behind to keep out of the way. I believe it was a Sport Vision 2020. Out of the way.
Battle for the lead. Down to 0.4 of a second. This is like I said, once you get into that slipstream, it's going to be difficult to get each other out of it. The Astro Racing Gagenta Moderna team knows that it needs to create a little bit of a gap for himself, maybe to have a little bit of extra on the pit stop. Just to be safe, look at this. Porsche taking the curb. This is unbelievable. In a real car, if an engineer or a mechanic would see you do this, they would not let you drive the car anymore after one lap.
No, they will not. They'll be like, no, get out of the car. Too dangerous. You're going to kill someone. You're going to kill yourself, and you're going to kill the car. But luckily, this isn't real racing. This is electronic. But they can abuse the curbs as much as possible. But I was just wondering, would they be losing time by doing that? The front end is in the air for a good half a second.
Well, that's an interesting point that you touched on there. Of course, you can't turn in if the fronts are off the track, but it seems like that they're not gaining any time with it compared to the XVD Emerald Endurance BMW, which is not doing it. So it's also, it might just be damaging the floor of the car, plus it is not gaining you any time. So yeah, I don't know why in the race they're going for it as well. In qualifying I would have understood maybe you gain half a tenth with it, and in qualifying half a tenth is half a tenth, we know that. Every tenth or every 1,000 is 1,000. So every bit that you can gain, you gain. But in the race, I don't think it's worth the risk at all. Well, we're going to see it again here. Carlos Mereda de la Chica, excuse me, is going to come into turn 15, 16, 17 again. Here we go. Yeah. Actually having to lift there on the exit. But purple lap time for Valkyrie X-Hype, who did it as well. And a green lap time for Astro Racing. So not losing any time with it, it seems like.
No, but yeah, they're obviously having to lift. It is a personal best, 137.2. But yeah, we're on board with the XVD Emerald Endurance, a leading BMW, but it is still in third place. 9 seconds of the
Something
pace.
has happened to that car.
Ooh,
Something
yeah,
has happened.
Down.
Because look at the gap to the Kazakh team Lamborghini. That has come down drastically. Look at the front. Look at the state of the front of that car.
He's hit something. I'm not entirely sure what. Oh, that's horrific. If that was a real car, you'll be thinking radiator damage. But yeah,
I
leading
can't
BMW.
see any off track for him. I can't see any off track for him.
What has happened here?
So
Maybe
we also
the
cannot
curb?
take a look back.
Maybe the game thought he hit the curb too hard and it was like hitting the ball. Possibly. It's the only thing I can think of though.
Well, we cannot take a look back at it because we don't have a replay of it. That's the annoying thing with this, and he's losing a lot of time with it. XPD Emerald Endurance, the leading BMW, in third going into this lap. 3 seconds behind the leaders, and now 12 seconds behind the leaders, 30 seconds behind the leaders, losing heaps and heaps of time. There goes the Euromaster Esports team as well, and that car is probably going to pit into the pit lane. There we go, peeling in. So unfortunate for the BMW. What can you do about it? 23 minutes into the race, going strong, and damage to the front of that car. Look at that, Pepper Kerstens also still into the pit lane. Still into pit lane, repairing the damage to the right hand side of that car.
Yeah, and I believe we have a retirement as well. I'm not sure if it's just because he hasn't been moving in the pit lane for a while, but Absolute Motorsport, junior team,
That's a
7 laps
retirement
down,
indeed.
and it is claiming they're out. First proper retirement of this race out of the 25 cars. Got a couple in the pit lane, but yeah, real shame, real shame.
Well, if this was real racing, of course, you could go and send someone down the pit lane. I could go and send you down the pit lane, and I could say, well, take a look if the garage door is down, because that is usually a sign that a team is done in an endurance race. But, well, here in the virtual, we can't do that. We have to go off what our timing screen tells us, and the timing screen tells us that car has been in the pit lane for 9 minutes already, and that car is out of this race, is not going to continue. At the moment of the retirement, Mattia Ubertali was in that car. Look at that! That is proper 2 wheels off the ground for the Valkyrie X-Type team. That cannot be gaining you time in any way. That must damage the splitter to that car.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. They're going to damage the car doing that over and over and over and again. And they're going to try a bit too hard and hit the curb a bit too hard and get even more damage on the front end and maybe even go off. I have no idea if the back end will lift off, but is he going to go for a move? He's going down into the roof, into turn 5, Adelaide corner, hairpin. Is there contact? I think there might have been. It's Argy-Bargy. Into turn 6 now, a little kink for the Nürburgring, and towards 180R. Valkyrie still in front, defending like a lion, yeah, still be in front to 180. We'll see if Carlos will have another go in the 14 Porsche. Down now into the Imola chicane, wide chicane I'd say. Can take good speed into it, and then into the hairpin of 14. Down now the chicane straight. Here will be the best place to have an overtake into 15. Got the slipstream to benefit, but I don't think he'll be making a good move, or a respectable move at least. He's just too far back, half a second behind. Wide again for the Valkyrie, heavy on the curbs again, both of them, and that's the norm now.
Well, it seems to be. Let's see if Gazak's Team Lamborghini is going to gain anything. Let's see if the Gazak's Team Lamborghini actually does it. We were just a little bit too late, but it didn't look like that car was up in the air when we switched to it. Let's see if the Mercedes is doing it. No, Mercedes not doing it. That curb, you have to take all of it, but the inside curb there on turn in, most drivers avoid that apart from the top two, and well, there's a reason they're the top two. Once again, this battle heats up. Carlos Miranda de la Chica has stayed behind for quite a long while now. It has saved, in his eyes, enough fuel, it seems like, and is now trying to push for that pass.
Yeah, he's had enough at looking at the bumper of the Valkyrie X-Type. Maybe he doesn't look like the livery too much and wants to see it in the mirrors. But I'm sure there's a better reason why he wants to overtake. Maybe Valkyrie's doing some fuel saving, some tyre saving, and Astro wants to get on with it, push as hard as possible. We'll only see when we come into the first lot of pit stops. But yeah, no moves into the final hairpin. Down into turn 15 now, towards 16 and 17. Little kink in the chicane straight. But yeah, all playing safe. I'd like to see these go over the bumps and then over the curbs. Heavy on the curbs again. Valkyrie even more. Let's have a look at Gazek's team if we can. See if they do it. Into turn 15. 16, 17, heavy on the curbs. Not as much. Yeah, that's because it's a lower center of gravity for the Lamborghini. But yeah, not as heavy on the curbs. I'd like to see the Audi go over it as well next time round, please.
Yeah, we just missed that. There's another Audi though. See coming through that.
Found the
See if they do it.
Straight. 10, 15, then 16 and 17.
This is the crunch point where we're talking about.
16.
Oh, not doing it.
No, very gentle. Little kiss and off he goes.
That seems to be the faster way, doesn't it?
It looked a lot faster. A lot being a couple tenths maybe, but every tenth counts. And looking at the Osman Alsa Cert in the 13 Audi pushing box. I love that name, Tifosi. I do like that name. Beautiful livery. That's the sort of colour that I want my car to be wrapped in when I get enough money. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on them. They aren't the leading Audi. Absolute Red Sport SRP is, but they're in the 11th. There's got to be a reason why they're just a little bit slower. Started off with only one Audi, now there's two. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Obviously the top, well, okay, so I might as well go through the top 10. In first place is Valkyrie Excite in the Porsche, followed by Astro Racing against Moderna, also in the Porsche. The leading Lamborghini, Gazek's team Lamborghini. Obviously I said this a couple of times, but he's on his own. Followed by Euromaster Esports in the other Porsche. It's a Porsche sandwich with a Gaza X. And then in fifth place is the MRP Sim Racing, also in the Porsche. In second place, Lamborghini is in sixth. Is a boosted motorsport, and then further back is the leading. In eighth place is Protosim Esports BMW. That's the also leading Amflas, which is very high up according to the timing screens. In ninth place is Rocar Esports Team Orange in the third place Lamborghini, and then 10-inch trackside Night Riders in BMW. I love that name. Driven by Daniel Morpe in the 44. Chasing down the Lamborghini.
The Rocker Esports Team Orange Lamborghini. He's going to try and make his way down the inside of 180R. What the R is standing for radius, 180 radius. So for people who didn't know that, that's half a circle. It's quite basics, but Daniel Murphy posting purple first sector time with the slipstream from the Lamborghini. Very quick is Daniel's now going to try and make his way around the outside, going to try and do a cutback on the Lamborghini. Almost pushing him through that corner. It's close enough now to maybe go for a move into 15. He's going to pull out to the right hand side. Yes he is. There we go. That Beamer looking so much bigger than the Lamborghini. He's going to push to the outside. Too wide through 15, 16. There's contact between the two. That's not a corner. You want to go through side by side. And, well, they did do it. And, well, I think it was unnecessary from both of them.
In front as well with the absolute Motorsport SRP. Looks a bit slow actually. Lost a lot of time. I hope there's a replay that we can see about that overtake. But now we're looking at the other Lamborghini chasing down. Yes, we are. Side by side into turn one. Oh, he's lost the back end. Ooh. That's a scary moment. Very scary moment.
Just to keep it out of harm's way.
Yeah. Brilliant driving. Lost the back end. Bit of a tank slapper. Got it back under control just before the wall. And
Do
yeah,
you
he's
think
lucky.
that is damage from this earlier incident? Of course, saw them come down here. Down the inside tries Daniel Murphy. That was his first try at it.
Yeah, it's a possibility.
And then he had another go at it. And that was it. That's again the same. Okay. Seems to have had a fun day here.
Yeah, turn 5
Here we
looks
go.
like, ooh, yep. And yeah, just cutting across, doing what he can. Bit of a tank slapper, losing the back end, losing the front end, losing the back end again. That's what a tank slapper is for the ones who don't know. Yeah, into turn 15, 16, 17 now. Any curbs? No, he's taking it easy now. Making sure he doesn't make a similar mistake.
Well, we're about half an hour through this race. Still 2.5 hours to go. That's just a testament to how long this race is. And we know after the first hour, nothing is done. The gap in front of the field, though, is still 0.2 of a second. So, if this gap is going to stay like this the whole race, then you won't hear me complain about that.
No. It should be 3/10, nearly 4. Good racing from both of them. Good clean racing, unlike what we've seen before in the Knight Rider BMW. But yeah, Porsche number 14 chasing down Porsche number. Ooh, and what's happened here? Cutting back into the Firebird Sim Racing, who was nearly pole position. Just 800ths of a second off pole for the AM class. It looks like he's been just overtaken by the Platinum Racing Academy team in the Pro class, so it should have been a bit an easy overtake. Obviously different classes. He does have the right to fight back if he's going to try down into the Imola chicane, I believe.
Yes.
Heavy braking into that chicane, quite a wide chicane, no mistakes there, keeping it clean. Very different lines, actually, we're seeing there. The Merc using much more of the trap. Yeah, we're going down into chicane straight, which I understand it's a bit weird to call a straight a chicane, but now into the proper chicane, final corners, gentle.
Both stay off the curb.
Got the slipstream down into turn 1 again. You see the 378 BMW chasing down its Merc rival. Ooh, very different lines there. Consistent braking for the Merc. Brake, throttle, brake, throttle, brake, throttle for the car in front.
This is going to be it. This is going to be it. He's going to try it.
Speed being like NASCAR. He's going around the outside of turn 5. Adelaide. Around the outside, is going to make the move, late braking. Around the outside, is he going to get pushed off? No.
Wow.
And he's got back. Wow, brilliant move there. Clean racing, that's what we like to see, but brilliant move. Around the outside of Adelaide, that is not one that we see very often.
No, can Nick Kirst has now come back at him? It's the question though. Nick looking all over him. This is not a battle for position in class. Oh, that's a bit wide there from the Firebird Sim Racing team. Back up into third in class after dropping all the way down to 8th after the first lap. And it's taken him precisely 35 minutes, because we were about a minute in when that crash happened in turn 5, to get back to where they were, at least close to where they were. The gap though now to P2 in class is, well, about 8 seconds, so quite a big gap for Firebird Sim Racing team to bridge, but not impossible. Definitely not over a 2.5 hour mark.
Yeah, definitely possible. Anything is possible in this stage of the race. We see XB, the Emerald Endurance, actually retiring. They were third place. They were leading the BMWs, but yeah, they're out now. Shame.
They had their
Real
front
shame.
end damage after about 20 minutes into the race. We still don't know why. There's no replay of it, but it seems like they had a contact with the curb and it damaged the front end of the car.
Yeah, that's what
Another
it is,
crash.
I think.
Gino
It's
Kellner's.
the Ferrari on his own. What's happened here? Oh, it's very strange. It's like he was braking, then not braking, then braking too hard. To keep it out of the gravel trap. And there's another replay of the American driver.
That's too late. Yeah, I saw that.
Ooh.
That was too
See that
late.
coming.
Braking too late. Just running out of road. Going back on track safely though. No one in his sights to hit or to maybe collide with. Oh, here we have it. That is what the Kurt can do. Can he keep it out of the wall though? Wow.
That's a close one. That is a real close one.
That's what that Kurt can do. Oh, very close to the wall on the outside. Wow. That's P6. Martin Ray for the MRP Sim Racing team has worked his way all the way up the order. In the background though, we see Daniel Zoma closing in on the two at the front. Carlos Moreira de la Chica has had a little bit of time dropped to the Valkyrie X-Type team.
Yeah, it's 2 seconds now. 2 seconds, 2.1 now. Has he got damage, possibly, from the curbs? Just like that. I don't think so. He's staying out in slipstream, backing off. Maybe a bit of overheating, a bit of turbulent air.
Yeah, something has happened this lap.
Yeah, he's losing a lot of time.
No lap time counted this time round. No damage visibly to that car though.
No, I think possibly he's saving fuel, trying to do an undercut in the pit stops, try and last as long as possible. Yeah.
Well, those are two different things you just said. You said the undercut and trying to go as long as possible.
Okay, I meant overcut, but I came out as undercut. Oh, very harsh into Imola. It's definitely still pushing. I think that was Imola. No, it was not. It was turn 7, 8.
Going into 180, I think it was.
Yeah, turn 7 and 8 going into turn 9 of 180. Oh, what's happened here? We're watching the Audi Absolute Motorsport SRP. See the replay.
Damage to the front of that Audi.
Yeah, there's been previous contact before. Around the outside. He's got it all wrong.
No, nothing happened. It seemed like just an off track for the 046 ahead of them. It seems like apart from that, nothing went wrong there.
Yeah, I think
Here we see once again this big moment for the MRP Sim Racing team. That was a scary one, wasn't it, Max?
curbs are brutal here. At least in the last two corners, 10, 16 and 17. Yeah, we're watching the Absolute Motorsport SRP chasing down the Night Riders. Love that name. Heavy on the curbs as well, just like the Porsche, going wide as well. Not as wide as the racing Porsche. It's turn 1, now into 2, straight into 3, and we're watching now the Destiny Racing Team PRL 474 chasing down the beautiful colour Porsche in front. The MBG2 eSport Blue, clearly blue, into the last bit. How much curb? Not as much. It's just the front two taking the heavy curbs. I think everybody else has worked out, you know what, it could damage the car, it's a huge risk. Let's not do it. We're only 41 minutes into the race, 3-hour event. Let's not risk the entire race for saving, well, I don't think they're saving any time.
Well, they are the front two. They are slowly creeping away from everyone else. The gap though has stabilized between the Valkyrie X7 and Astra Racing Agents and Moderna team. A 36-6 and a 36-7 last time round, a 10th gained by the Astra Racing Agents and Moderna team, but that's the time that is receivable, you know. That's not a lot. Behind that though, Kazakh Team Lamborghini with a personal best lap time at 1:36.884. Times are starting to get quicker here. We're getting to the end of the first stint. 42 minutes done. We're expecting these cars to pit around the 1 hour mark exactly. So we're getting close to that first pit stop here, Max.
Yes, we are. Be interesting what they do. Driver swap maybe if the team's not going very well. Tyres, fuel, it might be just a splash and go. Yeah, the Porsche just unstoppable, and we'll see if that's because they've been using a lot of fuel and a lot of tyres.
Oh, big slide for Nick Kerstens ahead of us in the Platinum Racing Academy car.
Yeah, big slide.
Yeah, he's going to get overtaken here on this straight, I guess. Look at that, cutting back. Nope, he's not going to get overtaken. Angel Mora's going to get a bad exit. Tightened up that corner way too much. Can he keep it out of the wall though? That's going to be important, yes he can. He's going to lose more time. There comes the Kevin Simpson Sports Vision 2020 Lamborghini. Not quite there yet. But that, Angel Mora tightened up that corner just a little bit too much. And as he did that, he of course went wide. This is Leonard Marquez for the Racker Esports Team Green. They've dropped down the order quite a bit here. They're down in 12th in class, 13th overall. Osman Aslan Sert in the push and box Tifosi. Doing quite well going into the pits already though. This is quite an early pit stop for the push and box Tifosi. Osman Aslan Sert not happy with the car maybe.
Changing tyres as well, the jacks are down. Yeah, push and box Tifosi in the pit lane. So we're watching out in second place, catching the leader, the XR, X-Spark, oh my god, I can't speak, Valkyrie X-Spark team. Yeah, it's been a great battle between these two this whole season. Although we're only in race 4, we've got 2 more after this one. Very wide, how much curb? Still loads of curb. Going wide again. Could be the speed because it's more of a straight line speed.
And there in the background you can see the push and box Tifosi already being lapped after its pit stop. It is. And that pit time was about 36 seconds, so that's about a normal pit stop. And it is still Osman Aslan Sert into the car, maybe not putting enough fuel in at the start.
Possibly, that is a possibility. Yeah, we'll see if there's an issue with the car. Push and box Tifosi at the back now in 20th place. Obviously the first car to have a, I'd say, scheduled pit stop. Not because of damage, but yeah, 3 tyres, more fuel, and we'll see some side-by-side action. More from the Merc, the BMW, trackside Night Riders, into turn 5 Adelaide, and yeah, keeping it all in one piece. Oh, there's a car going wide for the back. It's the Audi trying to get involved in the great racing we've seen here so far.
Well, great racing it has been for the first 46 minutes of this race. Getting closer to another XM Racing's private family network hourly update. And that will be brought to you this time by me, the one and only. And well, we're going to have to wait for that. Another 15 minutes, or well, let's say another 20 minutes. Let's see where they shuffle out after their pit stops, and then we'll give you a X-Sim Racing Private Family Network hourly update. Well then, about, like I said, 37.5 minutes into this race, Daniel Murphy for the trackside Night Riders up into P7 is now going to try and chase down the MRP Sim Racing team. Daniel very quick. Usually it is Vincent Ossems in that car as well, but I think that Vincent isn't here, as far as I know. Last time I spoke to Vincent, he had a lovely vacation, so it could be that Vincent is not here and that Daniel Murphy's going to be on his own for this one. So a lot of drivers on their own here at the end of the season, or coming to the end of the season, just past the halfway point actually. But in a championship with 6 races and you're in race 4, you can say you're coming to the end of the season already.
Yeah, no moves. No moves there from the car behind. The Pro Class Platinum Racing Academy team. It's embarrassing, really, for Platinum, like Pro team, Platinum Racing Academy team, holding the name of Platinum, and it's just not working at all. And he's actually being challenged from the Beamer behind in a Destiny Racing Team PRL. Beautiful fluorescent, almost like Brawn vibes from Formula 1 2009. Now he's going down the inside.
Has a little look. Had a little look, decided the better of it. Decided that sticking behind for now was the best option. But Nick Kerstens having no pace in that Mercedes. We saw Simon van Dijk in that car as well. Maybe he has some more pace in his locker than Nick Kerstens does at the moment. But that car just seemingly struggling. And, well, just seemingly finding no pace at all. Last lap time for Nick was a 1:38.66. Just to put that into perspective, lap time for the guys at the front, the Pro drivers, 1:36.72. So yeah, difficult one here, I think, for Nick. Nick usually is there together with his teammates, but this track just doesn't seem to fit this car, does it?
No, but you can't say everything's the car's fault, because you can see, yes, I would say it's a slower, the different types of Ferrari being the slowest. But like, we've got the Merkin P8. You can't blame everything on the car. Maybe the driver's just not gelling with the car. Yeah, I'll just have a look at the timing screens for Tristan in the 7th. Merc, sorry.
Well, his last lap time.
Last lap was a 38.5, I believe, and yeah, just quicker, much quicker than the factory team.
Well, being challenged now by the Absolute Motorsport SRP. It seems like, because of course last lap time for Nick Kerstens was a 39.9, almost a 40 in that car. The car is dropping off, and instead of being quicker throughout the stint when the fuel drops, this car seems to get slower when the tires degrade, and that doesn't seem to be an issue for all the other cars. Gap at the front of the field though, still 1.6 seconds. So Astro Racing and Jensen Moderna not allowing Valkyrie Exide to get away whatsoever. This is the battle for P8 overall. Absolute Motorsport SRP involved, Proto Sim Esports BMW involved in it as well. Remember, that's an AM-class car. That car, if we look at it, the Proto Sim Esports, here we have it, the BMW, that car is about 27 seconds ahead of the next AM car, the Valhalla Motorsport Lamborghini, dominating their class. No question, that was. Said that kind of weird, but I'll rephrase it. 27 seconds, they're dominating their class, no?
Yes, they are. Absolutely smashing it. P10 overall, leading their class. In the BMW as well. which from the pro isn't the fastest. But yeah, good stuff actually. I think they started first as well, leaping first, been attacking the stragglers from the pro, like the Absolute Motorsport SRP and the leading map. But early predictions, who do you think will win this race?
I think it's either going to be between Valkyrie X-Lab and Astro Racing Agenda Moderna. I think, and this is going to be an unpopular opinion, the Astro Racing Agenda Moderna car is going to win. We've seen it a couple of times.
Dropped.
Sorry?
They have just dropped back to 2.8 seconds. I think they might have made a mistake.
Well, we can take a look. It is Carlos Moreira de la Chica in that car, and he hasn't made a mistake. No off track. To be seen here from our timing screens and race control. Well, you know, we've seen it a couple of times now that in that Valkyrie X-Type car, we know that Thibaut Prévost is very quick, but one driver, and I can't exactly remember who, because he isn't slow at all, but he isn't at the pace that the second driver from the Astro Racing Agenda Moderna team has. So overall, in terms of average pace of the two drivers, I think that the Astro Racing Agenda Moderna could just be the quickest car. But, you know, Max, this is a race. Oh, that's wide for Andre Rosa, the leader in the AM class. Just didn't quite stop, ran out of road, and had to slow down, almost come to a complete standstill in order to make that corner. But makes it in the end and can continue his way. Lost a lot of time with that though. But what I was saying is, like,
Not to worry about it, no.
No disrespect to the drivers from Valkyrie X-Type, not at all, because I wouldn't be as quick as them. I think more than half of the field isn't as quick as their average time, but it just seems like the second driver there just lacks a little bit of pace compared to where their first driver is. And this 2.7 second gap could well come in handy if that is the case. And I don't want to say too much, but this man, purple sector 2, green sector 1, this is probably going to be a personal best lap time. The quickest lap time so far in this race is a 1:36.72. Excuse me, a 1:36.61 by Astro Racing Agenda Moderna across the line. It's now a 1:36.576 from Thibaut in the Valkyrie X-Type Porsche in the 1:77, and that was a mighty quick lap time. Not too much slower though is the Astro Racing Agenda Moderna Carlos Moreira de la Chica. He was 100 slower than his quickest lap time. I think that tells you enough on how consistent that Carlos Moreira is in that car.
Just want to point out, Valkyrie Expire will have traffic now that are fighting for position further back. It will slow them down. Obviously, they will have to get out of his way if he does make a move. Oh, talking about that, we have had a lot of controversy about the blue flags as he does make a move down the inside of 180R. Yeah, do you want to fill us in about the controversy with the blue flags? sorry to cut in, but Sport Vision has just lost place to Destiny Racing Team PRL, but sorry, continue. Here's the counterpoint. I don't know if you remember the 2019, I believe, Formula One Grand Prix in Brazil. Esteban Ocon just got lapped by Max Verstappen, as we see. Astro Racing actually coming into the pit lane. Back onto the story. Don't remember, turn 1, 2 is the center S's. And the leaders are actually in the pit lane as well. And Esteban Ocon wants to re-overtake Max Verstappen. And so he did. Yes, there was a crash. Max Verstappen didn't know he was coming down the outside, I believe. And Max Verstappen ended up losing the Grand Prix, or coming second to Lewis Hamilton. But what I'm trying to say is that the F1 style blue flags doesn't mean the car behind can't re-overtake to get onto the lead lap. But it makes it a little bit more difficult. That's what I'm saying here.
If a slower car comes up to lap them, they have to yield. I just realized they didn't hear that whole story about the blue flags because I was muted. So, excuse me for that. Pleb streamer, you can all say it in chat. But no, well, I will try and say it like I just said it. But what I was saying is the blue flags, the rule was instated that when a driver is slower and a lap car is coming up, the slower driver, the car that is being lapped, has to yield. It has to give way to the quicker car, and I don't agree with that. It doesn't have to give way. If that car thinks it's quicker, then it has a full right, in my eyes, to try and prove to the quicker car that it is quicker. If it's not quicker, then yes, I do agree that you have to be sensible as a slower car and not block the quicker car and let the driver by. Meanwhile, we've had our pit stop cycle, but well, that's what I think, and it was stated in the rule book that you had to let that car by. And like I said, I don't agree with that, and it has now been changed to the endurance or the iRacing styled blue flag, which says that you don't have to yield. It just means there's a faster car coming up behind. You do not have to give way. It just tells you, watch out, a quicker car coming up behind you. And that also means it could be a lapping car from your category. And it is all down to the driver. If the driver wants to yield and if the driver wants to make way for that quicker car, You cannot though, and I say this with, well, capital letters, and I shout this, you cannot block the quicker car. You are not allowed as a slower car to block the other car. You will get a penalty for that.
Yes,
I don't
you
know if I
will.
can find it still, but there was a discussion. I can see how it was written in the rule book. It says in the rule book, lapping cars, this is what it says exactly in the rule book. The car that is about to get lapped has to give way to the upcoming faster car. We'll be using the same rules as F1, yet, and this is of course something else, Section 7 of the iRacing Sporting Code is in effect, which states that the faster car has to make every effort to provide a safe and good overtake, which I completely agree with. It cannot be the case that a faster car can just launch it up the inside and expect the slower car to just see that and just make way for him and completely miss his corner. He has to do it in a reasonable way. He has to do it in a safe manner. Then it also further says, blocking a faster car which is lapping you, of course, because a car that is on the same lap can also be faster than you, which is lapping you, is never allowed. Any, and this is then the penalty that can be given, P02 category can be given by the stewards, so that the stewards reserve the rights to give you the penalty that is stated in category P02. There is a rule book in the Platinum Racing League server. If you want to have a read through the rule book, I can tell you it's very boring, but it's worth a read through. You can do that. You can sign up to the Platinum Racing League Discord. You can also race in the. You can also sign up via the Discord for the races. But that's what the rule book states. So yeah, it's worth having a read. It's very interesting to see how it's all set up. At least I found it interesting. It does become quite boring with all the penalties and everything like that, but it is worth the read through, especially if you are a commentator. You have to know what you're talking about, and it has helped me understand the racing series as well a lot more. So yeah, like I said, it's worth the read through. Join the Discord server. The link is in the description of this live stream. If you want to join the Discord, it is in there. You can also sign up for the races if you want. Well, Max, go on. Do you have something to counter that, or do you agree?
Well, I think you now can have a breather because that was a big rant. But the Formula One style, nobody goes lunging up the inside to expect the other car to get out of the way. But they're the rules, so you have to abide by the rules, and yeah, every rule, there's always someone who doesn't agree with them. I'm not someone in this time. I think they should have stuck with the Formula One style, because it's not true that you can't re-overtake, but that's my opinion. Obviously, the people making the rules have another, and that's what we're going to have to go by.
Yeah, well, the thing is, it was stated that, well, you have to give way. And if it's stated that you have to give way, then you have to let the other car by. That's what there was so much confusion from the teams to the stewards to race control. Like, do we have to give way? And I think, yes, we could have used the Formula One style rule, but it would just create a lot of confusion. And in the end, if a driver is sensible, the iRacing style rule does exactly the same. It also says, advice for cars that are being lapped is to do this far ahead of the corner to lift. You'll be saving extra fuel. That's as an additional, extra fuel for this, which is good for an upcoming pit stop or pit strategy. This way, a faster car can get ahead before the corner and both have a benefit from it. And I agree with that. You have the benefit of the fuel. The faster car has the benefit of not losing too much time, not losing any time at all, indeed. It gets your slipstream, and it gains back time with that actually. So, you know, it is better if you do it before the corner than going into the braking zone.
Oh, definitely. That's when it gets dangerous and it gets a bit silly. But anyway, as we're talking about lap cars, the leaders are once again lapping the back markers. Yeah, they're just so quick, those two. 13 seconds in front of the Gazex team Lamborghini, who is in 3rd place. Cruising out there. No one really in front, no one really behind on their own. But yeah, there's not much action going on. But we do see a little battle for 5th place with Boosted Motorsport and the Lamborghini with the MRP Sim Racing. There we go. We're just watching them now. 8 tenths, they're the closest couple so far. They got the, I believe that is the Platinum Racing Academy team being lapped. Once again, yeah, it's just embarrassing that a pro is being lapped by a pro when they have no damage to the car. It's not like they've had the pit stops and the big cars behind hasn't. Yeah, that's bad. And he's defending. The Platinum Racing Academy team driver, I'm not sure who's in the cockpit at this point in time, was defending, but now letting them by in the chicane straights, which still doesn't sound right. Into turn 15, 16, 17, let's see how much curb they'll take, but now we're watching.
Slow down here. Look at this. Not a slowdown, a crash indeed. No. Oh no! He's gonna hit the wall. Yep.
Oh. Yeah, he's lost it on his own. It wasn't even because he hit the curb, but yeah. As we're now watching Simon Van Dijk, Platinum Racing Academy team, a driver in that beautiful red black. Oh, and he's lost it.
Yeah, that was earlier on. This is a replay from earlier on. And well, that was not a good first lap from Simon Van Dijk. That is not how you want to start your stint. That is going to damage your confidence. That is not what you want, is it, starting your stint?
No, it's not. But at least we know he's not lying. He does not like that car. He doesn't like it whatsoever. But now we're riding on board Boosted Simsport TBC BMW. They had issues at the beginning of this race. Caught up in their first lap incident at turn 5 Adelaide. Making their way up. P22 now in front of the trackside Esport Orange. Well, quite far in front. 4 tenths now in it between 046 USA and NL. See what he can do into the chicane, keeping it nice and tidy off the curbs. So is the Ferrari. We haven't seen much of the Ferrari, only one on the grid. For some reason I keep on mistaking it with the Alpine. Alpine's in a similar blue colour, and I'm talking about the Alpine A110S. Similar front end with the bug eyes with the front 2 headlights. Yeah, what do you think about the Ferrari?
Well, it's definitely a car that is easier to drive than most of the others. But it isn't quick, as you can see either. Like, the limit of the car for a driver like us that is not driving iRacing all day. So basically most AM drivers that are in this race. You know, our limit is already a little bit lower than the quicker guys. And then the limit of the car for us being a little bit lower as well doesn't help either to try and create a machine that is quick everywhere. But now, before we go on with that, Gino Callender's under attack now from Sean Gardiner, and he's going to try and make his way around the outside. The Ferrari almost has to come to a complete standstill in order for him to make that corner. It was too wide. That was a brave move there by Sean. But look at that already, the gap up to, well, about 2 seconds after about 2 corners.
Yeah, being lapped again, pulling over, doing what he's been told to do, pull over before the corner. But yeah, we're watching the boosted SimSport TBC, getting past the 046 USA NL in the Ferrari. Yeah, he's had an issue from the very start. He's now got the, I'm not entirely sure, I can't remember which BMW that is behind. Chasing him down, he's going to get lapped soon. Might still have a bit of damage on that car from first laps, so yeah, I think he's done a good comeback. But the Ferrari being swallowed now by all the lapped cars, that group. The rack cars actually are very close together, I've just noted. The eSport Team Green and the eSport Team Orange. Very close together, fighting for P11. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Well, this car, of course, a couple of laps ago had that incident into the barrier at the last corner. So that's where it lost its time. I thought there was a battle for a second here for 12th and 13th. But it's a little bit further up the order. Rocker Esports Team Orange, both Rocker teams are together here in the Lamborghini, trying to maybe work together. I think if one car is quicker, we might see some team orders here. So this is an interesting one to keep an eye on. The gap in front of the field, though. Now that Thibaut still is in the car.
Sorry, obviously we won't want the team orders to get into play because we'd love to see Lamborghini go against another Lamborghini. But yeah, we're watching P2 now, 2.5 second gap. He's got a bit of lap traffic between him and the leader. Still Valkyrie Excite. No driver change yet, but we'll see. I've been saying this a lot, we'll see. But
that's what you do in an endurance race. You'd never know till the last hour, half an hour of the race.
That's exactly right. Anything can happen. We've seen loads of mistakes from cars in the midfield. We've seen a mistake from XBD Emerald Endurance, which was in third, and it's such a shame. They're looking so strong. The leader of the BMWs, the only BMW in the top, I think 6 at the time, and it was a shame that they crashed on their own. But now we're looking at the other BMW, the Trackside Night Riders, the leading BMW now, being hammered.
The only other BMW in the Pro class.
Yeah, it's because Protosim eSport is not in the Pro class, and it's leading the AM class, which is crazy. Absolutely amazing job by them.
As long as you keep your nose clean here, anything can happen, and the gap is not too big. You know what time it is, though, Max? It's about time for a Sim Racing Private Family Network hourly update. Well then, Thibaut is at the moment leading the way. Thibaut Prévost for the Valkyrie X-Side. About a 2.4 second lead over this man, Carlos Moreira de la Chica, and the Astro Racing Agenza Moderna Porsche. That's a mouthful to say. 2 long names, Astro Racing Agenza Moderna and Carlos Moreira de la Chica in P2 in that car. 2.4 seconds back, like I said, from the lead of this race. Then a little further back, about 14 seconds, is Daniel Zoma for the Kazakh Team Lamborghini. He is on his own today. No teammate for him because his teammate is out at Daytona, racing in the 24 Daytona. He's on his own today, and we'll see what he can make of it. Euromaster Esports is in 4th, working their way up the order. They were down in 10th at the start of this race, now in 4th. Excuse me, down in 6th at the start of the race. They gained 2 positions from where they started. Slowly but surely closing their way down to the Kazakh Team Lamborghini. MRP Sim Racing, of course, driven by Martin Ray. They've been working their way up there. They started 11th this race. They're now up into 5th. 6 position gains for those drivers. Mike Horda in P6, also 4 positions gained by him in P6 for the Boosted Motorsports team. And behind them though it's Daniel Murphy staying where they started. The trackside Night Riders, the number 44. Of course driven by Daniel Murphy. Antonio Vitozzi, hope I said that correctly, in the Absolute Motorsport SRP car. They're in 8th overall and in 8th in their class. Then we have the first of our AM cars, the BMW from Protosim Esports, driven by Cristiano Rocha in first place in the AM class, 9th overall, the number 402 BMW. Then we have the push and box Tifosi, number 13 in 19th class, 10th overall. Osman Aslan Sert driving that car. And this is not a battle for position. Skegstrup Racing almost coming to a complete standstill there. Don't know what that was, but both drivers coming to a complete standstill almost there in that corner. However, continuing with our hourly update, Leonard Marquez from the Rocker Esports team green lost 6 positions on where he started. This was the case last time out in Silverstone as well. Both teams losing on where they started. Qualifying seemingly going very well for this team, but the race a little bit less. Down 4 positions also for Frederic Faraya in the Rocker Esports team orange car. So both green and orange together on track, but 2 seconds separates them from each other. AZR Motorsports by 4 gamers in 12th and 13th overall, 12th in their class. Then we have the second of the AM cars. And it is the car that's almost started on pole position at the beginning, started in 2nd in that class, staying in 2nd, but overall gained a position. The field, or the Firebird Sim Racing BMW number 378, excuse me, Juan Rodriguez driving that car. Then we have the Valhalla Wyckoff Matthew driving that car, the Valhalla Motorsports Lamborghini. Well, so far, one of the only 2 AM Lamborghinis in the field, and doing pretty well, being in the top 3. Angel Mora driving for MBG Esports Blue in 4th in the AM class, doing pretty well there, the number 251 Porsche. Then behind him we have Urs Müller in the BMW for Destiny Racing Team PRL, the number 474. His last lap time was a 39.7, so track seems to be heating up. Track seems to be getting warmer, so lap times are dropping. Kerstens into the pit lane, Pepper Kerstens back in. He's all the way down to 23rd. Simon van Dijk having some issues in that car together with his teammate Nick Kerstens. That car not happy, and the driver's not happy with that car at all at the moment. So yeah, 1.5 hours left, almost coming to the halfway mark. I think they'll be looking forward to the end of this race. Drivers both disliking how the car feels, and well, I think, Max, that there's not a lot to do about it once you're in the race. You can change the tire pressure, you can maybe change the wing during a pit stop. I don't know if that's possible in these cars, but well, not happy with that car. Then we have Oliver Diamond for Skenkstrop Racing, the only pro car driving still behind the Platinum Racing Academy team. They've also known some issues. The Platinum Racing Team car, though, coming back to them, up 3 positions from where they started. So, in terms of their qualifying position, they are up. That, I think, tells you how, well, how tremendously bad their qualifying was. And, well, they're trying to recover here in the race. Not doing bad in 18th, still at 1.5 hours left. But, yeah, not doing the best they... Well, not doing what we normally see them do, isn't it, Max? Sport Vision 2020 is in 20th. 7.3 seconds back from this Skenkstrop Racing Van Gilze team. But if we go to the Sport Vision 2020, about 30 seconds back from the next AM car in P17, the Destiny Racing Team PRL. Boosted Sim Sports TBC about 1.5 minutes back, or 1 minute 5 seconds back, excuse me, from the Sports Vision 2020 car. And then we have the 046 USA XNL team, the last car driving out on track. Retirements, Expedia Emerald Endurance, Absolute Motorsport Ashley Jr. and Platinum Racing Team Orange in the pits at the moment once again. And I think that is going to be out of any contention here in this race. The Trackside Esports Orange, Pepe Kerstens. We know Pepe Kerstens though, Max. Pepe Kerstens, no matter what happens, will continue. And let's take a look at what exactly happened to Pepe Kerstens. If we can take a look back at what happened and if it will show us. Here we go. This is Pepe Kerstens here. The car is still good. This is coming then into the last corner. Is it going to crash into the Mercedes? No, it's going to go into the wall.
Oh.
So unfortunate there for Pepe Kerstens. Jumping back to the pit lane. So we're sitting back to pit lane. Yeah, that car up on the jacks has finally come back. And let's see if Pepe Kerstens is going to come out. I think Pepe is going to come out. This is going to be when he knows how big the damage is. But knowing Pepe, Max, Pepe will always, no matter what happened, try to finish that car.
Yes, of course he will. That'll be like any other driver though. I'd like to know what sort of damage he has. That's why we wish this real life, so I can run down, sprint down. We'll get some information from the team driver, but I see some other Porsches going around in the background. Yeah, it's he'll work hard. It's beautiful livery car. It's a shame that he's so far down, 7 laps behind 046 USA times NL. But yeah, it's a real shame. But we're back on to the leader. We're watching the leader now. Thibaut for the 177 Valkyrie Expire. He's losing a lot of time now. 1.8, a lot of time. It's 1.8 now.
Lost about 6/10 over the course of, what was it, half an hour now?
Yeah. Yeah, it's starting to catch. Starting slowly. Couple hundreds here and there. Oh, he's losing all the time. Yeah, it's just a real shame. Ooh. Every single time I can imagine the air rushing under, keeping the car up and ending up in the wall. Like, I don't know if you remember the Fernando Alonso launch
Yes.
this year. Every single time I see that, I just imagine that happening again. Being lifted up the air, being trapped underneath. These aren't NASCARs, so they don't have flaps to get rid of the low pressure air. Yeah, NASCAR flaps are very clever. They got 2 on the roof, 1 on the bonnet, and 1 in the diffuser, and just helps keep the car from flipping over, well, becoming a massive wreck, basically, as they call it.
And it still happens. It still happens, no matter what.
Yeah, it still happens.
You cannot avoid it.
Yeah, I think it's that sort of stock car racing. It's gonna happen. Just try and avoid it as much as possible. Yeah, it's yeah, we haven't seen any cars upside down. We've seen Porsches in the air from after hitting curbs. We've seen a BMW in the air from hitting the Tech Pro barrier on the inside.
That was Pepe Kerstens.
Yeah, that was Pepe Kerstens. He's still in the pit lane from that damage, 9 laps down. We want to finish this race, but there's no result coming his way. I can't remember the point system. I believe he gets 1 point for finishing the race. I think.
Yes.
Ooh, and he's off.
Oh, that's wide.
He's finally made that error that we're all waiting for. It wasn't if, it was a when, and it was just then. Wonder if that's going to knock his confidence a little bit. We'll see next time round when he goes into 13, sorry, not 13, 14, 16, 17. Obviously he's just on the exit of turn 3 into the King of 4 of Golf now. And then into turn 5 for Adelaide.
I've got some more information, Max.
Yeah,
sorry to cut you off. We have, of course, talked about the blue flag rule. The blue flag rule states that, well, I'm gonna tell you it again. Blocking a faster car which is lapping you is never allowed. Any P02 category can be given by the stewards. What are those penalties? It's one of the questions I got. Well, those penalties are either a warning, a drive-through penalty plus 1 penalty point, a stop and hold 30 seconds plus 2 penalty points, a stop and hold 2 minutes plus 3 penalty points, a stop and hold 5 minutes plus 4 penalty points, or, and this is going to ruin your race if a 5 minute already doesn't, a 10-minute stop and hold plus 5 penalty points, which you have to block someone quite harshly if you have to get 10 minutes, but you know, those are the penalties that can be given. Those are the P0.2 category penalties.
They are harsh. Yeah, you do not want to be blocking. Any drivers listening to this, do not block the faster cars behind, because your race will be ruined. Like, even if Valkyrie gets a drive-through 10-minute stop-go penalty, his race is ruined. He's at the back, trying to fight his way back through, if he can. And Astro Racing will have a clean run. That's what Astro will be hoping for. But yeah, it's interesting. Very harsh. I understand why drivers will be attempting to be blocking. Yeah, very harsh. Very harsh indeed.
Yeah, well, T-Boy is back, says Paul Taysgrids. Well, here we have it. This is T-Boy. Of course, our lovely Luxembourgian guy. He's very quick. 2.1 seconds is the gap again after that mistake from Astro Racing Agenda Moderna. The question just is, when is Thibaut ever going to make that mistake? Is he ever? Because he looks very consistent over that curb. It is tricky. Everyone can happen. Everyone can make that mistake. They've lapped up the P13 for the people who want to know. The leaders have lapped up to P12 overall now. So yeah, it's they've been going rather quick. Let's put it like that.
Yes, they are, and they're just about to lap the Ferrari of the 046 USA and NL team. Just about to lap them once again on the same street, looking at the slipstream. That'll be benefiting Valkyrie a little bit. Every little helps. But yeah, we'll see if it holds off. Obviously, just from that news, 10 minute for a stop go, or possible stop go if 046 blocks the leader, and if it does, that would be could possibly mean Valkyrie losing the race. So if Alcine might be stepping to one side, letting him go. I'm sorry, not Ferrari, Lamborghini. I do apologise. Not Sport Vision 2020, not the 046 USA. Same goes, I'll be just stepping to one side, going like, yep, here's the position, here you go. Just like that, yeah. Letting him go. Not making it hard for yourself, not asking for any penalties there.
Yeah, well, in chat, Paul says, I hope he won't make a mistake. By that, I'm assuming that you are a Valkyrie X-Type fan. Let me know if that assumption is correct. But by that, I assume you are a Valkyrie X-Type fan. Because if you would have been an Astro Racing Agenda Moderna fan, you would have hoped that he would have maybe made a small mistake so you guys could get past. So I assume once again that you are a Valkyrie X-Type fan. Nothing wrong with that at all, though. Not at all. Just wondering if you are. So let us know in chat if you are. 17 of you here. Remember, of course, that you can subscribe. Of course, if you haven't done so yet, give the stream a like and share with your friends to give the drivers a platform to race on. Of course, they deserve it. especially with the pace that the drivers are putting down at the moment. And well, turn on the notification as well, so you never miss any races that we do. Here is the 046 car though, making it a little bit difficult for the Valkyrie X-Type car to get past. It's not the first time that car gets lapped. That car is about 3 laps down already.
Yeah, 3 laps down. keep on thinking it's a Alpine, even though they don't even race. But yeah, it's strange that I keep on thinking it's an Alpine. But it is a Ferrari, not an Alpine, it is a Ferrari. As we're watching P13, the Firebird Sim Racing team, in the BMW, 5 tenths behind the ACR Motorsport by 4 gamers in the Porsche. They are in the Pro class. Pro versus AM, beautiful red, almost like a Mazda red, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Love that colour red. But yeah, I love that colour red, just plain red, simple, like the Mazda's favourite colour in the world for a car.
Yeah, well, this is not the only battle we have going on track at the moment. There's a battle for P6 as well. The boosted motorsports team is being chased down by Daniel Murphy. The trackside Night Riders are half a second behind the boosted motorsports team, now slowly working their way up the order. Glenn, there you go. This is your battle for P6. And let's see if, I presume by the name, the trackside Night Riders are going to get past for you. I assume. A lot of assumptions here today, Max, that you're Dutch. Of course, Glenn, a very Dutch name, isn't it?
Yes, it is. He's saying Night Riders run in the night, not the daytime though. And the boosted does have a bit of, you know, boost. Maybe it's got a bigger turbo.
Get
we'll
one.
See.
That's a good one.
Maybe the Night Riders are nocturnal and it's like midnight for them. But we'll see. Leading BMW though, obviously clearly doing well. Simple black livery, just like it is midnight into turn 15 I believe, or am I in the wrong part?
We're now going into turn 15. We're now coming up to turn 15.
We're now coming up into turn 15. We can watch a Lamborghini. We've been watching multiple different cars jumping over these curves, jumping over that curve. I haven't seen we jump over turn 15, but window wipers going on.
Oh, slow down for the Lamborghini!
Yeah, what's happened here?
Slow down for the Lamborghini. I can tell it already. Slow down for the Lamborghini. And that is boosted motorsport. Paused by the trackside Night Riders. That's that battle done. Ruined by a slowdown, of course. Did that to himself. Just, well, cut a little bit too much of that curb. And that put him off. And that is a slowdown for the trackside Night Riders. Daniel Murphy still in the car for the trackside Night Riders. Meanwhile in chat, Tight Panda, welcome to the stream. Rowan's also welcome to the stream. Hope you guys enjoy. The trackside Night Riders in that BMW. Slowly but surely working their way up the order. Not a bad battle this one as well. The BMW trying to overtake the AZR Motorsports by 4 gamers Porsche. Gap for the Porsche. Sorry?
Back in the battle for P6. Boosted Motorsport hasn't slowed down much now. Yes, they are losing time, but it's not enough for them to have an issue.
I think it was a slowdown coming out of the chicane that caused that.
Yeah,
that's why they moved over.
Yeah. Bad exit, bad mid corner, possibly. Only if we could see the replay. I'd love to see what happened on board. Maybe he lost the back end. But anyway, we're watching now battle for 12. Once again, Pro against AM.
No, it's already happened here.
Yeah. Just pulled off to the side. No point defending that. You're not defending.
That's going to be the easiest overtake Daniel Murphy's ever done in his life.
Yeah. But it won't be easy for the Firebird Sim Racing 378 BMW. A little bit of lap traffic in front with the Ferrari of the 0463s NL. Oh, I just want to point out, Trackside Esports Orange is back out on track. They're back out on track. Pepe, I believe, is driving that car in that beautiful orange to white livery. Yeah, there it is, back on track.
Car seems to be fine.
Laps down, car's all repaired. Let's just say they might be going for fastest lap down instead of this race.
Yeah, well, you know, you have to give him the props for continuing. Pepper, what are you doing? You cannot shortcut the track to try and get some laps back. You're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way and try and overtake the cars on track.
If he was a British London taxi driver, then he'll be fine. He'll be allowed to cut the queue because, fun fact here, every single black cab driver has to know every single street off by heart.
Okay, didn't know that.
So, yeah, maybe he's pretending to be one of them and go like, actually I can do a shortcut down there. But no, it's a racetrack, you can't do that. You can't just cut to the, skip a whole sector pretty much. So, yeah, well, back on board with the Firebird sim racing. Ooh, I thought it was going to go into the back of that Porsche 22 car. Clearly struggling a little bit, 14 seconds behind the Rakar Esports Team Orange. Be a reason not got the setup quite right, driver not enjoying the Porsche, not enjoying the track, more fuel, tyres, less fuel, good tyres, who knows.
Well, let's see what Juan Rodriguez can do. He's close enough to maybe try and think about a move somewhere into turn 5, but he has to get a good exit. 3/10 is the gap now into turn 1. A little bit of a lift here from Juan Rodriguez, goes a little bit wide. That gains the Porsche a couple of seconds, goes once again very wide, is not going to cut back. Gonna go on throttle for a very good exit, but that's not where you want to be out there. And that is a little bit dirty air coming off from that Porsche. Just that tiny bit that you get in GT3 racing, because it's definitely not a lot. Just that tiny bit unsettled him enough to run wide, run out of road on the exit. Look at that though, he's back within 0.5 of a second again. Juan Rodriguez looks really quick here. Looks like he's able to get past, just doesn't really know where to get past at the moment.
Yeah, I think you need to be about, I'd say 2 seconds a lap faster to make a decent, clean overtake move around this track. Not the easiest. Best place is probably turn 5 and maybe even the Imola chicane. You've seen it, well, off the top of my head, I remember one move around the outside of turn 3 and the outside of turn 5. So yeah, I think turn 5 is the best place to make an overtake. Tight, heavy braking, last of the late brakers will definitely excel. Yeah, 2.5 seconds now the gap at the lead, but we're not looking at the lead now. 0.5 apart, half a second. Oh, just a bit deep there. Porsche a lot slower through the chicane. The Porsche just got the legs on it. Just a little bit faster down the main straight into turn 1 now. Back into 2, another left-hander, now into 3, heavy braking zone now. Very different lines we've been seeing here, some tight, some wide, some in the middle. Both following the same line, possibly looking for a slipstream into turn 4 now. Could he be making a move into turn 5, which is Adelaide? Just a little bit far back, he might be making a lunge. No, he thinks better of it, back into the slipstream, into dirty air, into turn 5, and now on the way to Nürburgring on turn 6 and 7, and then of course 180R turn 9.
Well, in chat we have an interesting question. The Thai Panda says, is this Thompson Wilde on the radio? No, as far as I know it is Max Lovejoy. who's with me on the radio, and I'm also not Thompson, but I don't know who you mean with that. There are a lot of Thompson Wilders here in the world. If you mean the streamer, the Twitch streamer, then no, he's not in chat with us, but well, no, he's not in chat with us, sadly. So, well, you know, Max doing a lovely job, and I wouldn't want anyone else.
I'm sure you would, I'm sure you would. But anyway, going into turn 15, into the next chicane on turn 16, 17, we've seen two mistakes on the top of my head, both Porsches jumping over. We've seen it, BMW actually, of Pepe, who has lost now 14 laps behind the leader because of that smashing into the tyre barrier on the exit of turn 17 on the main straight, losing the back end. Yeah.
He's close enough to go for something now.
But he is close now in the slipstream. It's turn 4. He's gaining, he's gaining, he's gaining, he's gaining. He's going to go inside, outside, outside. The Porsche blocking the inside line. Out, side by side into turn 5. The Porsche just got a little bit. He's going for a switchback, but the Porsche blocks him. Side by side action, side by side again. Oh, it's three abreast. It's being lapped by. Oh, and there's contact between lapped cars. There is contact. That's a real shame. The 111. Third place, Gazex Racing. Lamborghini team. 18 seconds, but between him and second place, massive gap. He's got past now. The battle commences for P12. Got less than a tenth between them. He's got a run. He's side by side down. Can't even remember. We're at turn 14 now. Heading down the hill of chicane, which is still straight. Side by side into turn 15 now. Round the outside of the BMW into turn 15. Heavy braking. The BMW just gets it done. The Firebird Sim Racing overtaking the pro car of AZR Motorsport by 4 gamers. But will he be able to have another look into turn 1? Not quite, he doesn't have the balls for that. Into turn 2 now, and then 3. We have seen an overtake round the outside of 3, but he doesn't seem to want to have a go there. And we'll see if he has another go. Turn 4 now, into turn 5 of Adelaide. Let's see how it goes. It's turn 4 there, where you see the curbs. Porsche gonna have another look? No, just too far back. BMW brilliant on the brakes, really stable. But we're looking now at P20 Travis Rowe. Sports Vision 2020 had a bit of an issue. I think.
Yeah.
Can't remember what happened though. But I just remember thinking it's an issue. Right behind the
Skank so busy for Gilter.
That's yeah. I've lost my train of thought now. Behind P19 of the Merc in the last place of the pro class. It's been a dismal day for the Mercs, to be fair.
Yeah.
Absolutely dismal. Let's see.
We were talking about Platinum Racing League being the slowest
We
work
were.
and being down on P17. And now at the end of almost hour 2, they've come through as the leading Merc. So that tells you again that pace isn't everything. You know, they weren't the quickest by a long shot, but they are definitely one of the safer cars out there. Just trying to survive this race with a car that they don't really like. Just trying to survive it is already good. Well, let's just say they're doing that, and they're doing that to the best of their ability. 10 seconds is the gap now to Platinum Racing Team for Skankshoff van Gilsen and for this team. And, well, it is not looking like the Lamborghini is going to be able to go for a move here. What he will try and do, though, is he will try and set him up, maybe coming out of turn 3, going into 5. Because I don't count 4, the straight I don't count. For the people who thought for a second that I couldn't count when I said from 3 going into 5, he's going for it now though. Pulls to the outside. Can't quite do it. Now though, the Mercedes goes wide. Lapped cars once again coming through to intervene.
How about, I've got an idea. You know how lap cars are a massive issue in racing, and everything like that. How about they just make a track big enough that there's no lapped cars?
Well,
So
even
all
the
issue.
Nürburgring, Nordschleife is not big enough. So I don't know how big that track would need to be. But that would need to be quite big.
3 hour lap. About 3 hour lap. That would be a really good. No lapped cars. No issues with that. Yes, if you bin it into the wall, you're gonna have to wait a very long time to get it back into the pit lane. Or you're gonna have to wait the whole entire race to get it back into the pit lane.
Well, I can
But
just
anyway,
imagine, Max, coming across the line with 2 hours, 59 minutes and 59 seconds done. And that we have another lap to add to it of 2 hours, 59 minutes and 59 seconds.
How about if we make it a little bit longer then? Maybe not bang on 3 hours.
Well,
But,
technically we're on the last lap then. So it's 3 hours plus 1 lap.
yeah. Well, hello, if you're just coming on, we are on the final lap of this race.
Yeah.
And the first lap. Just joking guys, I have no idea which lap we're on, but we've got 1 hour and 10 minutes, 9 minutes, sorry, left. And lap cars are getting out of the way. I believe that is Pepe. Getting out of the way. Travis Rowe doing a brilliant job. Well, brilliant being 20th.
There we go, now you know which lap we're on. 69.
Lap 69, convenient. 206 car, American, Sport Vision 2020, that's a classic American name. Fighting for P19. As they're coming around the final couple of corners, the pesky, not Penske, pesky chicane that everybody's making a mistake on. Is he making a move into turn 1? No, he's not, he's just getting out of the way after that.
Did I just see the Firebird car coming through? Is that literally the Firebird car lapping all the other cars?
I believe so.
Yeah.
12, yeah, doing a brilliant job.
Wow.
And 13th is the AZR Motorsport by 4 game is also coming up to lap them.
Oh, crash! Big crash for the number 206, the Sports Vision 2020. A lot of twos to consider there, but that's off the track. Contact there with the Skegstrom Racing for Kills. It looked like just getting off track a bit. Car just a little bit too much to handle coming out of there. And that is a big spin for Sports Vision 2020, losing a lot of time with that. And they will not be happy with that.
The tires will be dirty now. I'll have to make it clean for a little bit longer. Here's a replay. I think he just got pushed onto the grass. All feels 4 wheels off the grass. Goes for a move.
No, just on the braking. Brakes way too late.
Yeah. On the grass for good measure as well. Blocking the wheels up, spinning round. All out of control in the gravel trap, not getting stuck luckily. But yeah, coming back on track now as the replay shows. Yeah, weird instant. All on his own now. He lost 12 seconds. The Formula 1 car, if they spin, it's about 8 seconds. He's lost 12 seconds. But he's got plenty of.
Well, usually, if a Formula 1 car spins into the gravel, it won't get out.
Well, yes.
So that's about more than 12 minutes or 12 seconds lost then.
Well, let's think of it like France then. Paul Ricard, actually.
We are in France today.
Yeah, neighbours to this track. And where there is no gravel trap, just these horrible red and blue, and white and orange and green and solid colour stripes all over the shop. So I've lost where I was going to say. Yeah, there's no gravel traps in the Paul Ricard, so if you spin a Paul Ricard you lose about 8 seconds. You can
And
get
about a pit stop
some
because the
race-
tires are done.
Yeah, and a pit stop, yeah.
Because that track, well, of course, the strips that lay on the side of the track, slow the cars down. Then
Yeah.
Marquez could use one there. He didn't
Yes,
slow
he
down
could.
enough for that corner. Went a little bit wide there. Still managed to make that corners. So no harm done there, but lost a little bit of time. Maybe his chance to try and attack the Proto Sim Esports BMW, the Proto Sim Esports BMW in the AM class. Could just as well let the Rocker Esports Team Green pass because it's not in his class. But why would you? Why would you?
Exactly, why would you? Anyway.
If you don't want to lose too much time fighting, yes, but he has a gap of about 33 seconds to P2 in the AM class, so
Might as well have some
he doesn't
fun.
need to worry about the gap.
Exactly, might as well have some fun with the pro. Show off and say, you know what, I deserve to be in the pro spot. I deserve to have my car into that orange bracket onto the left hand side. Obviously leading the arm class now. Lamborghini all over the place, trying to find the time. Losing the back end a little bit, down into chicane, which is not a chicane, and then into turn 15. And 16, 17, the infamous chicane, where people have been launching themselves up in the air, crashing back down, tyre barriers for BMW, or in the wall for a couple more. But we are looking at Leonardo Marquez in 37, Lamborghini chasing down the Proto Sim Racing esports team in P9. Past Leonardo, I'll be wanting to get past him as fast as possible, preferably into turn 5 now, but too far back.
Yeah, can't quite make that work. We're almost two-thirds through this race, so time is running out. An hour to go in about 4 minutes, so it's looking like Leonard Marquez has still enough time to make this pass, but if he wants some more positions in his class, then he's going to have to be quick because the gap is opening up to the MRP Sim Racing team. The gap for him now is about 11 seconds, which is quite a lot. And that's not something that you're going to do over 2 laps. That is going to need some time. But the gap is also opening up to the Proto Sim Esports BMW. So the BMW almost have to come to a complete standstill out of that corner there. Can't afford to make that mistake. The Rocker Esports Team Green was quite a long way back.
Yes, they were, and they are still a little far back for his liking. He would like to be tucked right behind the BMW's gearbox. Oh, and the Porsche flying literally over the curbs. That's actually the leader, I believe, Valkyrie. 6-second gap now between Valkyrie and Astro. Once again, that car's possibly getting in the way. Fast cars getting in the way of the Lamborghini and the BMW's. Brilliant racing for 10th and 9th place respectively. The Lamborghini looks quick, relatively, compared to the Beamers. Leading Beamer is in P5, this Beamer. Oh, and he's gone wide. The BMW of Pro Sim Esport, I believe, has gone wide. I think he's just outbraked himself, tried to keep it on the track, went wide. But there's no point fighting it hard, really. Different race, still leading. Obviously, you'd want some fun. Guess you can get very boring on your own doing laps for 3 hours. But yeah, it was coming, wasn't it?
Well, it was. The gap at the front, though, is something that I didn't see coming. I thought that gap would be coming down, but 6.6 seconds at the moment between the Astro Racing Agenzo Moderna car and the Valkyrie X-Hype. So who is going to get the better over the other? That's going to be the question. 6.7 seconds is quite a comfortable margin now for the Valkyrie car. So it seems like at the front there, the Valkyrie is doing all his best to Get it as close as possible. It's going to be an early pit stop though for Carlos Moreira de la Chica.
I believe it's the first pit stop for the second round. Astro Racing Agenza Moderna. Changing tyres, the jacks are up, and the fuel is being pumped in as fast as possible. And now we're looking at the second place, Daniel Summer, for the Gaz X Team Lamborghini, the 111 German. 23 seconds behind Valkyrie. It's a huge gap, absolutely huge gap. Astro Racing still in the pit lane. Not sure if he's finished yet or not. And he's lost another place to Euromaster Esports. So, costly pit stop, he is back out 4 seconds, warming up the tyres behind Euromaster Esports.
Someone into the pit lane as well is Daniel Murphy for the Trackside Night Riders. He's come in for what will presumably be his last pit stop. And I think we will see Thibaut into the pits as well this time round. No, that will not be the case. He will continue.
Yep, he's continuing. He's pushing hard. And that's the replay of the Ferrari of the 046 USA and NL. The only Ferrari on the grid. Heavy over the chicane. Oh, and he's big impact. Just like the BMW that Pepe is driving right now. It's a lot of damage on the front end.
Don't tell me this is the same crash. No, this is not the same crash. This is going to be a different one. Into turn 3. Yeah, that car doesn't want to turn in anymore, does it?
Real shame. He's 2 laps down now. Heavy impact. Car steering probably out of line. Many other issues. Yeah, it's shocker. Real shame. But he hasn't lost any places. I don't think he has. He was 22nd before, and he's still 22nd in the pit lane for 2 laps. So, not a lot lost.
Well, what he has lost is at least some time, and it's never a nice thing to lose a lot of time. As we have now some battle lads on track after that pit stop. Antonio Vitozzi is going to try and overtake the Boosted Motorsports Lamborghini. But that car in itself is trying to overtake the AZR Motorsports by 4 Gamers Porsche. Pit stops now taking place. The Valkyrie X-Type car still has to pit. Like I said, it would be an early pit stop for the Astro Racing Agenza Moderna car, who, despite their pit stop, are still in P3, which just tells you something. There he goes, the 22 into the pit lane. Thibaut though still continues and is still going around. This is coming through 180R. The gap between those two is massive now. Euromaster Esports into the pit lane as well. There we go. The gap is about a minute. Pit lane time for Carlos Moreira de la Chica, 58 seconds. So I don't know, if that gap is a minute, he might lose something in the pit lane. That could be.
Yes, possibly. There's a possibility. We're now watching Thibaut though. He's going out again for another lap. Oh no, he's not. He is not going in for another lap. He is in the pit lane. We'll see the gap as Astro is in 2nd place. Once he's come out, many cars are in the pit lane. Master is in there Valhalla is in there, or just leaving actually. But yeah, on the track, just changing tyres, getting more fuel in the car. See.
Well, we are more than 2/3 through this race. We have entered the last hour of this race. It's almost about time for another X-Sim Racing Private Family Network hourly update. We're gonna have to wait with that after the pit stop cycle has played out. We're gonna see still in the pit lane is the Valkyrie X-Type team. Carlos Merida now coming down to turn 15, 16 and 17 now, but he's already out of the pit lane. Look at that, he's lost heaps and heaps of time. The gap was 6 seconds, it's now 11 or 10.
Yeah, maybe he made a mistake, possibly.
Even though the pit time for Carlos Merida de la Chica was 58 seconds. And the pit lane time for Thibaut was 1 minute. So he gained 2 seconds in the pit stop. So that's a weird one.
That is, have you changed your predictions now for the win of this race?
No.
You still think Astro can come back and beat Valkyrie inside?
You know, if you predict something, you cannot change it halfway during the event, because then you're not predicting it anymore. You know what I mean? So I'm going to stay with my choice, Astro Racing. That's a bit wide though for the Boosted Motorsports that has allowed Absolute Motorsport SRP to get closer in the Audi. The Audi now in 8th. It's going to get up into 7th in a second because MRP is in the pits. However, though, MRP is going to come out in just a moment time. Here we have MRP. It's going to be close on pit exit. There they are. That's what I told you. It's going to be close on pit exit. MRP. Where are they going to come out? It's going to be side by side with the Boosted Motorsports. They both get past. And this is now a 3-way battle for P6. Antonio is a bit wide for the Absolute Audi. And this is a great battle coming out of pit lane. Martin Ray for the MRP Sim Racing team came out of the pit lane just behind these two. And well, if you ask me, like, what do we expect? And then it wasn't that these guys would be coming out of the pit lane this close to each other. Because remember, before the pit stop, we had no battle at all. Or we had only one battle in the field, closer than a second, and that was the Raka Esports Team Green with the Proto Sim Esports car. And now all of a sudden we have a group of 3 all fighting for that 6th position in the race.
Yeah, we got multiple battles now for P9 as well. We got within the second, for P6 within the second, and MRP just outside of that second mark. No, sorry, I thought Raka Esports Team Green was made later. Still watching Antonio driving the Audi Absolute Motorsport SRP. Driving hard, driving fast. Oh, he's lost the back end of turn 3. Tokyo drifting in France. Now down to the King.
We're not even in Tokyo.
Yeah, we're not even in Tokyo. Isn't France nicknamed Tokyo? I think, maybe? Just joking. Step 5. Adelaide. Audi bumping over that bump. Didn't realise it was severe that bump. Audi Absolute Motorsport went over it.
The gap's opening up a little bit again. Of course, MLP Sim Racing getting closer to the Absolute Audi, but the Audi seemingly dropping back a bit from the Lamborghini. Probably not what MLP wants. They want him to stay close to the Lamborghini so they can latch onto him Rocker Esports Team Green is going to continue to push as well. Here's that battle with the push end box Tifosi. And it's not our usual driver in the car. It's Kane Gigvin now in the car. So there has been a driver change for that team.
Now that the 046 USA trackside Esport Orange might have actually battle on his hands. Might not be on his own.
Personal best lap time for them.
Yeah,
The 39.6 last time round.
Decent lap time. 8 laps now behind the 046. Once again, like I said, 100 million times this race. We'll see how it goes. How fast they can repair that car.
Well, we're getting to that point where we see how it goes because we have 15
Yeah.
minutes left in this race. So we're getting to that point. Something that hasn't changed since the beginning of this race, Max, is the lead. Valkyrie Xi, they've been looking strong. Thibaut looking very strong. However, though, gap was 12 seconds. Look at that, 8.3, so the gap is coming down. Persistence is key for the Astro Racing Argentum Moderna team. They've been trying to chase down as the Valkyrie Xi and Thibaut for this whole race now, and well, if they can do it in the last hour, it would be very painful for Thibaut. I hope for Thibaut, with the effort that he has put in and the fact that he's been on his own the whole time, that he's going to be able to win this race. But he has to perform, he has to put in the laps. And if Astro Racing wins it on pace, there's nothing you can take away from Astro Racing there.
Nope, nothing. But Astro Racing just putting in 1:7.5, not their best lap. But they're just pulling away. It's now a 40-second gap between GazX and Astro Racing.
Yeah.
Eshave, Super Pro Points, just 32. Those two teams in it. At least Thibaut should be in it.
Yeah.
Astro Racing is pulling back. Maybe enough. Less than an hour now. We'll definitely see how it goes. But yeah, coming into lap traffic, that could be why actually Astro Racing is catching. Yeah, it's now trackside Esport Orange 7.6. I'll see if 6 wants to get out in front of them. Might make a huge difference in the championship. So, bragging rights, who can get their car fixed faster. It's very similar question.
Yeah.
And actually I was thinking, could we have another look at the restart? Not restart, the actual start with Valkyrie
I don't think we can, that's too far back, sadly.
That's a shame. Well, Valkyrie obviously starting in second place. Astro Racing starting in first.
Try and give it a go.
Take. Yeah, let's give it a go. Someone's tracking.
Oh, here's the back. Here we go. I didn't expect this, but there we go. Taking
Brilliant.
a look with the Valkyrie Xi on the
Replay.
right hand side.
To move down into turn 1, into turn 2 now, already ahead.
And since this point, they have never looked back.
Nope, they have not.
I'm going to go a little bit further back into the background.
Canadian.
Here we go, look at this. Up front, you're going to have to watch the BMW. There's going to be a crash, there's going to be a big pile up. All cars having to come to a complete standstill in order to avoid each other. Look at that.
These 3 cars were damaged, probably 4 or 5.
Yeah, a multi-car pile up. we go though, push and box Tifosi. Under attack from the Rackar Esports Team Green. We're going to get to our hourly update in just a moment's time. But first, let's see if Rackar can try and overtake push and box Tifosi. That Audi looks very quick on the straights, especially with Genzo Racing. We're now overtaking the gap back up to 10.3 seconds at the front of the field. That's what the traffic does. It ebbs and it flows, those times between the two. Well then, I think it's about time for another X-Sim Racing Private Family Network hourly update. This time brought to you once again by the one, the only beautiful Dan Peoples in the commentary box. I'm a little bit too full of myself, am I? Well then, let's get into it and take that what I just said as a joke. Valkyrie X-Hype is leading the race ahead of Astro Racing and Genzo Moderna in second. The gap there is about 10.2 seconds. Not impossible to close down in the last 45 minutes of this race. Not impossible at all. As we know, it's not over till it's over, so everything can still happen, even on the last lap. Then we have Kazakh Team Lamborghini about 40 seconds back from those front two. They're at the moment stuck behind the Platinum Racing Team Academy Mercedes. That is now going to make way. It's once again Nick Kerstens in that car. He's going to make way for the Lamborghini. Then we have in fourth, we have Juan Manuel Frejames for the Euromaster Esports team. They have had a good comeback as well. They're looking to overtake the Kazakh Team Lamborghini towards the end of the race. They've been closing in and closing in and closing in. Trackside Night Riders are in fifth. They've also been really, really quick and consistent. Daniel Murphy is the lone wolf in that car, the only driver in that car, the 046 going wide to allow the Trackside Night Riders past. Doing a brilliant job is Daniel Murphy in that car in fifth. And you have to say props to Daniel Murphy. Findley Hammett, by the way, says hi Max in chat. So Max even has supporters, so I'm gonna have to think if I don't have some. Otherwise Max has beaten me in that regard. Boosted Motorsports is in sixth. Behind Daniel Murphy, of course. They've been doing well the whole time. Boosted Motorsports, of course, slowly but surely working their way up the order. 4 positions up on where they started. Martin Ray in seventh for the MRP Sim Racing Porsche. Also doing a brilliant job for the MRP team. Of course, they started down in 11th and they are 7th, so up 4 positions from where they started. Antonio Vitosi in the Absolute Motorsport SRP Audi. They are in 8th at the moment, ahead of the Kane Sixvin. I hope I pronounced that correctly. For the Push and Box Tifosi, who are in a heated battle with the Rackar Esports Team Green for that 9th and 10th position. Then we have Pedro Braganza for the Protosim Esports, the leading AM car, that car leading the AM class. Well, at the moment, if I look, by about 23 seconds. So the gap has come down to the Firebird Sim Racing team. So that might be one to look out for towards the end of the race. 24 seconds, a lot to catch up though. So it isn't going to be easy. Federico Fara for the Rackar Esports Team Orange, Lamborghini in the middle of those two though in P12. Lost 4 positions from where he started. Started P8, now down in P12 overall. Then we have the second placed AM class car, Juan Rodriguez in 13th, the Firebird Sim Racing team. Like I just said, closing in slowly but surely on the car in first in their class, Proto Sim Esports. So slowly but surely working their way up the order. And the gap, like I said, 24 seconds about that. Pedro Arnaud for the AZR Motorsports by 4 Gamers in 14th overall, 12th in his class. And well, the gap behind, 52 seconds, the gap ahead 17. So in a little bit of no man's land is Pedro Arnaud, the Frenchman. Or the Frenchman, of course, racing on home turf. Ramon Serra in 15th overall, the Spaniard. I guess that is Spaniards. Could well be Portuguese, but I guess that's Spaniard. Sounds Spanish, that name. So for the MBG2 Esports Blue team, they're doing quite well. They're third in their class, so yeah, doing a tremendous job in their class. Valhalla Motorsports is in 16th overall, 4th in the AM class. So doing quite well, 24 seconds back on the podium position. Platinum Racing Academy team, we said it multiple times, struggling with the car, not finding their groove, not finding their way. Last lap time, 1:39.60 for Nick Kerstens. So just not finding their way with that car. Very difficult car to drive, it seems like. The Mercedes here this evening. Behind them though, another Mercedes that find themselves in a position where they find the car difficult to drive. The Skengstroop Racing van de Geelse team. Not any better than the Platinum Racing Academy team. Both of those teams are pro teams and both are struggling with the Mercedes. Destiny Racing team, PRL, is in 19th overall, in 5th in their class. Urs Müller still driving that BMW. Then we have Sport Vision 2020. A lot of issues for that car, but slowly but surely working their way up the order again. 32 seconds is the gap to P19 and P5 in their class. Then we have John M. Roberts for the boosted Sim Sport TBC. Of course, they had that incident smashing into the wall, like Pepe Kerstens and the 046 team did. And they are all in a battle with each other. The 046 is out on track again and is about 8 laps or 6 laps ahead of the Trackside Esports Orange and 8 laps behind the boosted Sim Sports TBC. We've talked about them a lot. Pepe Kerstens is about 6 laps down on a car that is 8 laps down on the car ahead, but still driving around. You have to give them that. You have to give them the props that they are driving still in that car. A lot of people would have just retired the car, put it in the garage, and put the garage door down. The cars that have done so are the XVD Emerald Endurance, the Absolute Motorsport Ashley Jr., and the Platinum Racing Team Orange, who didn't even start this race. Well, that's your last hourly update for this time round, Max. You take over for here, because I'm going to hydrate for a second, because that was quite a long hourly update.
It was. And now we are watching, obviously, Pepe Kerstens, who had an issue, lost the back end in turn 17. Porsches clearly can take it better than the BMWs, and lost the back end, swung around into the pit wall, damaged the front end. But now we're looking at the Englishman, Tim Perry, driving for Boosted Motorsport, number 42 Lamborghini. He is the second Lamborghini on the road in P6, being chased down by the Porsche of the MRP Sim Racing. Half second, 6/10 of a second separate them. I believe that is the leader behind them, so it'll have to move out of the way if Valkyrie makes a move. Now, down into turn, where are we, turn 5? No, we're not, we're down at turn 14, heading down, oh no, it's 15, sorry, into the chicane, the final chicane, down the main straight. In the slipstream, obviously the Lamborghini low to the ground, less drag, meaning the Porsche will have to push a bit more air out of the way. Round turn 3, back ends, staying in check, and now down the straight. Kink of 4, which is called Golf, and then into Adelaide. That's the next best overtaking point, but I think the Porsche is just a little bit too far, as Martin Ray, number 55 Spaniard, chasing down the boosted Lamborghini. Brilliant stuff here, really close racing, 4/10 now, heading down towards the 180R. Quick fun fact, the 180Rs, because it's a 180 degree corner.
Oh no.
That they have to do, but the Porsche
Oh no, Max.
Oh no, what's happening here? Is it a Ferrari? Is the 046 USA NL? What's happened here? Lost the back end.
Luckily
Oh,
just the spin. Just the spin for the Ferrari. I thought when I saw
spin.
John A. Cassie crash that it was once again contact with the wall, but they seem to got with it well, but the car doesn't seem to like the colder temperature from the tire after standing in the pit lane for what was an agonizingly 13.5 minutes.
Yeah, very long time. on board now. Moving back to Martin Ray. The brilliant battle, heavy over the curves. Like I said, the Porsche can do it. Well, Volkswagen Beetle clearly very good at going over curbs, chasing down the Lamborghini, which is, well, if we go back in time, a tractor. Let's see, Volkswagen Beetle tractor. I think the Volkswagen Beetle will just get it. Of course, these are modern day cars. These are supercars, GT3 cars. Lamborghini don't make tractors anymore. They actually do, but they focus on the sport cars. The same with Porsche. Into turn 5, Adelaide, and then heading down towards turn 6, turn 7, 8, 9, and then 1 ATL once again for turn 9. Here we go, turn 7 now, called Nürburgring. Turn 8, long turn 9, heavy braking zone, making sure the back end, the rear wing squatting the back axle down. So, in this little battle, Porsche, Lamborghini, Tim Perry versus Martin Ray, who do you think will come out on top?
I think that the Lamborghini will stay in front for now, but towards the end of the stint I think the Porsche will come through. The Porsche is so good on used tyres, it's incredible just to see that car pan around on all tyres, and well, it just seems to handle the degradation of the tyres a lot better than the Lamborghini does. So I think towards the end of the race, this will definitely be a fun battle.
Yes, it will. Well, we're always thinking, this would be a great battle versus Valkyrie, X-Type, and Astro Racing at the beginning of this race. Valkyrie has just pulled a massive gap. Thibaut doing a brilliant job on that Porsche. Porsche, the dominant car around this track, around every track to be fair. As we're talking about Thibaut, he is catching the MRP and the boosted motorsport cars. Oh, the Lamborghini, very different line, turning in a lot earlier. Sorry, what were you saying?
I said very different lines from the two drivers there. Didn't quite expect that.
Yeah, the boosted motorsport, Tim Perry, turning in a lot earlier than the MRP sim racing Porsche driven by Martin Ray. Maybe because the Lamborghini is so much has much more front downforce, could be the reason. It's like a cheese wedge slicing through the air, and the Porsche behind, obviously. Oh, and it's gone wide. Tim Perry has gone wide. He has made a mistake into turn 14 now. And he's slow. He's a lot slower. Number 55 Porsche might have another look into turn 15. Around the chicane. Little kink in the straight, but no, not into turn 15. 16, 17 chicane. He'll be ballsy if he makes a move down there, but not quite heavy on the curves. The Porsches go. Same with Valkyrie X-Type just behind the leader. Obviously, having a race, they don't care about the leader. They're caring about who comes 6th and who comes 7th. Round turn 3. Very different lines once again. 55 Porsche going much wider than the boosted motorsport Lamborghini. And Martin Ray pushing the Porsche down into turn 5. Adelaide. Oh, we'll see. Again, the Porsche turns in so much later. Brakes harder, much slower. Mid-corner speed, but a lot faster on the exit than the Lamborghini.
Just a reminder here, guys. This is the battle for P6, and look who's behind them. The leader is coming up to lap P6.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That just tells you just the sheer pace that these drivers have had at the front of the field.
Yeah. We'll see if Valkyrie can lap these and head off down the road towards 5th place, who is Trackside Night Riders, who's done a brilliant job, which is just crossing the line now as we speak, but Valkyrie does get past the Martin Ray.
That lost him a lot of time though.
Yeah, it has, but he's hoping now that the Valkyrie will hold up boosted motorsport Tim Perry a little bit more. It's a great battle here. launching over the curbs. Every single time I see that, I think of Fernando Alonso. Every single time. Flying through the air, crashing into the wall. But surprisingly, coming home to finish P7 that day, that sunny day in Austin, Texas. But Valkyrie has not been able to catch and pass the boosted motorsport team. Tim Perry has recently made a mistake. But yeah, brilliant racing.
Well, I think the MRP is going to try an ambulance chase this Valkyrie XI Porsche. What I mean with that, because that's a complete new sentence that I just threw in there. What I mean by that is that it's going to try and stay on its rear bumper, and at some point the boosted motorsport car has to give way to the Valkyrie XI car, because the Valkyrie XI car is quicker and it's coming up to lap them. And if he does that, the MRP will want to try and ambulance chase through with the Valkyrie XI car. He will try and follow him through, but I don't think he's going to be able to do that because he's a little bit too far back already.
Just want to point out to the people here thinking, oh yeah, let's do ambulance chasing just because they've done it in iRacing. It is illegal, at least in the UK it is. Do not do this in real life. Oh, is Valkyrie gone very wide, trying to get better. Two wheels up in the air for the MRP sim racing team. Valkyrie still behind the boosted motorsport, as he hasn't made a move, so Tim Perry does not have to let Valkyrie past.
Yeah, he seems quick in that Lamborghini all of a sudden.
Yeah, that does happen when you're being chased. You do go up a gear. Well, literally, you do go up many gears, and he's pulling to one side. He's had enough. He decided, you know what, this isn't the battle that I want. I'll probably get a 30 second stop. 10-minute stop go penalty, and yeah, that'll ruin his race. But yeah, it's like I said many times today. Valkyrie XI just doing what he needs to do, pushing hard, still keeping the tyres in check, the fuel in check. Less than half an hour to go now, 30 minutes to go, and the Lamborghini going through it and doing a brilliant job.
Well, this has been a battle that's been brewing for quite a long time. Now that the boosted motorsports car has got past, it seems like it's pulling away from the MRP. All of a sudden, the boosted motorsport car found the boost button and it just flew. Or does Martin Ray have some damage, maybe from hitting the curb in the wrong way?
Probably. I don't see any visual. Oh, that's so heavy. There's no point. There's so much risk going that harsh onto the curbs, and well, we've seen it many times. Going to the grass, we've seen a couple saves from the Porsche. We've seen a BMW and a Ferrari both trying to steal the same as Porsche, ending up in the wall, and well, 8 and 6 laps down. I don't understand why they're taking the risk. It's just not worth it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this is the closest battle we had on track. This is our leader at the moment. Here he is, Thibaut Prévost. There he is. He's very quick, and well, last half an hour of this race, he's done everything he needed to do. The gap is 12 seconds. I do believe that that is now a little bit too much to catch up for the Astro Racing Agenzia Moderna team. But I will not change my vote. I will keep saying that Astro Racing Agenzia Moderna is going to win this race. In the end, if I get it wrong, we get it wrong. I was a close second, because you have to say the Astro Racing Agenzia Moderna, they have not let the Valkyrie XI get away in any shape or form. Yes, they had a couple of slowdowns at the beginning. They came back from that, and well, the 12 seconds that they have now over 3 hours and about 100 laps, that is almost less than that is just a little bit more than a tenth a lap for 100 laps straight, and that is not a lot at all.
12 seconds. big gap, half an hour. Could he do it? Yes, he could. It
Would
is
he need a little bit
possible.
of help? Yes, he would need a little bit of help.
Yes, he will. Yeah. Lap cards, you know, under the counter payment. You know, come on, crash into him, please.
Oh, don't crash
Yeah,
into
yeah.
him. No. Let's hope
Well,
that
that would
doesn't
be a bit
happen.
much. Oh yeah, you know what I meant. Down the inside in Adelaide. Oh, was there contact? What was I just saying there?
I think you talked it into existence. Commentator
yeah,
car is
yeah.
doing its full
Commentate-
job there.
Yeah. Yeah. Looking on the timing screens, there is nobody within a second, but there is 2 pro classes, platinum, the 2 Mercs in the pro class, the only 2 Mercs in the pro class, just within a second. Oh, that might be why. See the replay here of the Platinum Racing Academy team, driven by Nick. Oh, it just
A very
lost
slow
back
spin.
in 180R. Yeah. Lost back end in 180R. Oh.
There goes the Skankstrup racing car, so they are past for position.
Yep. And they're very close now as well on track. We go back into timing screens as we are now. Where are they? I've lost where we are. Yes, it's 1.3 second gap, and at the minute, getting larger bit towards closing. The slipstream, very similar coloured cars. The Merc at the back is the Merc that just made the mistake. The Platinum Racing Academy team, the 135, catching E16. As they are now heading down into the 180R, which is actually where the 135 made a mistake, I think a couple laps ago.
Well, he's not going to do it this time round. Nick Kerstens stays off the loud pedal and is going to continue his way like he should in the right direction. This is one of the closest battles we have on track. Another close battle is this one, the Rocker Esports team being chased down by, I thought, Protosave Esports. But look at that, the Protosave Esports, the leader in the AM class, is damaged. Big damage in the last hour of the race, the last half an hour of the race for the leader. And there's a lead change in the AM class. Juan Rodriguez in the Firebird Simracing team goes through. And look at the damage on the car there for Pedro Braga. Wow!
Front left,
Did not expect
front left
that.
suspension has broken. Let's see the replay here. Oh, it's just the ending of it. Yeah, the front left suspension.
I
maybe
can't see anything
punctured.
else.
Yeah, that's. If it's punctured, he can make it back to the pit lane, but I think it's suspension. He might not be able to make it back out on track. Might not be able to. It's less than half an hour now. Oh, and see what's happened to Pepe. He's had a tough day.
Oh no, not again. Not
Oh,
again!
no. Oh.
Making that same mistake twice.
Oh no. That's embarrassing. That is very embarrassing. Trackside Esport Orange Pepe. I think he's retired.
I can't quite see where. Yeah, he's out.
Yes, he has retired. Yeah. The garage door has been shut. But Pedro still thinks he could do something in this race. Maybe just practice for next year. We've got 22 minutes left. The leader now. He's been one lucky man. He's had first lap collision into turn 5 Adelaide, and he has done an amazing job to fight back to lead P11 overall, which is, firstly for a pro, is an amazing job, but for an AM class as well, brilliant stuff from the Firebird Sim Racing driver. 378 car.
Yeah, well, you know what the thing is. Yes, you have to get lucky, but you also have to put yourself in a position that if you get lucky, that you can take advantage of, and that is exactly what they've been working on since the start of the race, where they had some tough luck. Of course, the pile-up into turn 5 Adelaide, that's where most of their time was lost. They were gaining back. They got to within 24 seconds, and well, you have to get lucky sometimes. But wow, Protosim leading this race by a long, long mile. And that was unfortunate. We can't see where it happened. There's no off track. There's nothing to be seen from race control where we can take a look back at.
Whereabouts did he stop? So if he stopped around turn 3.
Oh, there it happened!
Yeah, he's lost it on the exit of turn 17.
He's done what Pepper Kerstens did. I can assure you. Here he is. Sorry that we had to rewind that replay, but that was the only way we were going to see this. And we did not want to miss this. Yes, he's done it. The curb. Oh, the grass. No, the grass. Hard into the wall. Yeah, that yeah. If he would have gotten to the tire barrier, I would have given him a chance to finish this race with the damage. But into the concrete wall, that is, and that left front tire is not looking healthy.
No, it's not. I think that's left front suspension failure.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Wheel bouncing about. Yeah. He's done exactly what Pepe did, and guess what? Pepe did the exact same, I believe, the lap before. And yeah, it's over for him. What a brilliant race though. He could easily be the driver of the day in my mind. Brilliant race, fighting with the pros and consistent lap times. Just that one mistake, that single mistake on lap 97, I believe, is the reason why
97.
he is out.
Yeah, so sad to see that go.
Really is, yeah.
But it's given an opportunity to other drivers to take the victory, or at least the lead here in this race. The Firebird Sim Racing team, they've been fighting for it as well. They deserve it just as much, I think, as the Protosim Esports team would deserve it. Apart from their bad luck in lap 1, they've been gaining on Protosim Esports. So, if anything, if they would have started on equal terms, it would be Firebird Sim Racing that would have gotten the victory. But we're not at the end yet, and this, what happened to the Protosim Esports, can still happen to the Firebird Sim Racing team, and that would mean that the Valhalla Motorsport Lamborghini will win the race in the AM class. And like we said, it's never over until it's over. So yeah, looking forward to what the next 15 minutes has to bring. The last 15 minutes, 3 hours of Magny-Cours.
15 minutes left, 15 minutes for a mistake, if you think negatively. But Carlos, second place, car number 14, actually my lucky number as well. Astro Racing against Moderna, lapping the Lamborghini. Brilliant stuff, no issues there. Lapping P9, that's crazy. 137.1 that last lap. Not the best, he's been doing 136s in the past. But slowing down, getting tired, possibly. All those factors are coming in. And of course, it's being held up by the of Ricard Esports team. Green, even though the car's not green. Have you thought of that before, Dan?
Well, the car is green at the bottom. Well, they do go onto the naughty list. Do you know why?
Please share.
Because this is the Rocker Esports Team Green. And this is the Rocker Esports Team Orange. If they are alongside each other, try and tell them apart. There's no difference in that livery.
Yeah. It'll be,
so that's why. Yeah, numbers, but the livery, it's so similar, and numbers are not always visibly well. So, yeah, that's why they go onto the naughty list for me. But that's, of course, my naughty list. No, yeah, of course, we are joking now. They haven't done anything bad. It's just that their liveries are exactly the same, and then they're number 37 and 38. So, Also, that isn't a big difference.
No, that is quite annoying for us commentators and you fans. But we're looking up third place now. Daniel Summer, clean, calm race. Aggressive looking Lamborghini for the Gazex. Missing teammates, but that doesn't matter. I don't think anybody could be on pace with the front two. Triple one German, looking good, looking fast, looking aggressive. Around turn 3, a little wide, but I think the Lamborghini enjoys going wide there instead of the many other drivers keeping it very tight, scrubbing off speed. Yes, he travelled less by a few meters, but you tighter apex into turn 5 now. Adelaide, heavy braking. We've seen a couple pile-ups here in the first lap, but
it's a hairpin
yeah,
with.
easy.
Yeah, well, it's a hairpin with 25 cars into one hairpin. You're almost certain to get someone to touch someone at some point in the corner. And it happened, and sadly it spun the trackside Night Riders around. Talking about the trackside Night Riders though, look at that, the gap 2.8 seconds to Euromaster Esports ahead. That gap, not too big at all. So
No,
they
but
could still
not.
go up as far as 4th.
I just want to point out Protosim Esport is in the pit lane for 2 laps. Have they had an issue?
That was the leading
Yes,
car.
yeah. My bad, my mistake. That is now the leading AM car. Firebird, so close, 800ths of a second off pole position. Could have mean they would have had a clean start if they got that 800ths, 8,000th I mean, but they didn't. Side piece 2 in the arm, so close, but yeah, so far. Into turn 2 now. Now turn 3, long, and ooh, the front end getting out of place, chasing down his fellow BMW driver. Oh, that is Protosim Esports. They're back out, still got damage on the front end, but they're back out to continue racing, to see what they can salvage, and someone's gone off. That is John M. Roberts.
For the Booster Motorsports TVC BMW.
In P20. No one behind them, no one in front. Oh well. But the driver in front is a Canadian, Philip. And the one in front of him is the Swiss, I believe. Not very good with flags in Europe.
Yes.
Yeah, Destiny Racing getting out of the way for the lap, I believe.
Well, here they are back together on track. Just not where they want to be. Very unfortunate for the Protosim Esports car. Juan Rodriguez will be laughing in his fist. Sneakily laughing under his helmet. But of course he knows that without anything happening to the Protosim Esports, it would have been a tough ask for them to win that race. Gazex Team Lamborghini just posted their fastest lap of the race, 136.413. Are they starting now to pick up the pace?
They are, it's a bit late. 12 minutes left. Yeah, lap 103, a bit late. So, yeah, I don't think
Better late
they
than
are.
never.
Well, better late than never, but if it's too late, you know, what's the point?
You
Yes,
at least
they
gave
got
it a
fastest
shot.
lap. Yeah, they got 22 seconds. Yeah, double tenths, 12 minutes left. I wish them luck, but yeah, they'll need a lot of luck.
The car you see in front of us, 2.8 seconds in front, is the Skengstorp Racing by Van Gilze. That is the Mercedes. And ahead of that is the Euromaster Esports Porsche. it's still Daniel Murphy in this car, and we have to give it to him. In 5th, is all on his own, all on his lonesome. The quickest BMW by a mile, and yeah, well, doing just a tremendous job in that car.
Yeah, brilliant stuff. I remember them being down in P15. Now they're up to P5. Brilliant stuff. And Ray is in the pit lane.
They were down in P15 at the start of the race because, of course, they were the one who got spun round and caused that
Yes, they were. Yeah,
pile up.
they were.
So imagine if that wouldn't have been the case. They would have been far ahead of Euromos Esports now.
They would be. So they could even be fighting for 3rd on pace.
Talking about them,
Yeah.
look at this though.
What's happened here? Gone wide. Heavy on the curbs. Oh, back end got lifted up as well.
That's why Murphy got so close.
Yeah. And the back end, I haven't seen that yet. The back end being thrown up.
A 3-point turn for Juan Manuel Frei Gomez.
Yeah, 3-point turn of pain. It's, hot rear axle now. Surprised he didn't spin in turn 1. But now we're like, we're on board with Daniel
Murphy.
Murphy? Is that how I
Yes.
pronounce it? Okay.
Yes.
Backside Night Riders.
Valhalla Motorsports car in his way. He's going to try and make that pass. He is down the inside.
At
Comfortable pass.
180R. Brilliant stuff. Brilliant move.
We're into the last 10 minutes here, Max, and well, it seems like for the lead there isn't going to be a challenge if nothing crazy happens. Kazakh Team Lamborghini picked up the pace way too late. It seems like this race is just going to fiddle out how we are right now, apart from some changes maybe a little bit further down the order, because look at this. Gangstorp Racing by Van Gilse, very close to Valhalla Motorsports now.
Pro versus Arm. Yeah, I'm in front in the Lamborghini. Merc finally doing something really. Valhalla just been lapped into 15 and 16. Merc. Ooh, and, oh, I thought he lost it then.
Yeah, got a
He
little bit of a
lost
wiggle
back
on.
end. But into turn 1 now. No dramas. Into turn 2 and into turn 3. The right-hander. And now into the back straight, as I like to call it, and the king of turn 4. Battle for 13th
There he
place.
goes.
Done, but
It's
it
a
goes
loud
down the
pass.
inside. And side by side, the Lamborghini doesn't fight that. There's no point. This
Well,
is
he's in a different class. He's in P2. Would you want to risk losing P2?
nah. Safest option. He's got a big gap behind as well, so there's no point.
On board now with the Gangstorp Racing Van Gilse team. 1 minute 28 to P13, and once again, Kazakh's racing team with a 1:36.302. They are picking up the pace here.
They definitely are. Now we see the Thibaut of Valkyrie Excite 28-second gap.
Hasn't got a lot of screen
Yeah.
time, this car, the last hour and a half. Why, you might ask? Well, because he's been dominant. He hasn't had anyone to fight with so far the last, well, hour and a half, really. And 28.2 seconds really tells you how big that gap is. And he's got to keep taking that jump. And that was, I think, a warning sign to Thibaut. Don't do that too often. You have a 28.3 second lead. Just take it easy now. Almost into the last 5 minutes of this race. 6 minutes to go. The 3 hours of Magny-Cours have almost flown by. And I have to say, it wasn't too bad of an outing for the drivers. I loved every second of it so far, and it is only going to get even better because there are some battles brewing in the midfield.
Yeah. There is as a where was it? 2-second gap between Valhalla Motorsport, who's just been overtaken actually. They're now behind. Unfortunately. It's Snowport Party, different class. They got the Platinum Racing Academy team. They might actually fight this one if they can catch up. There is 5 minutes left of this race. It's not like the old Formula E style. It is not 3 hours plus 1 lap. If it was, there'll be a whole different podium for the first race if we have that one. Yeah, 3 hours, whichever lap ends on the 3 hours, that's it for the final lap.
Yeah.
It's not like Formula E, or the old Formula E, which was 45 minutes plus 1 lap.
Yeah. Well, 29 seconds is the gap at the front, and I don't think that anyone can take anything away from the Valkyrie X-Type team. They're coming up to lap. Valhalla Motorsports once again. I do want to take a look at that car, because it seems like there's some damage on the front splitter. It seems like they finally got him. I don't know what that was. That was OBS doing some funny stuff. I don't know if you guys got a black screen as well on the stream. Excuse me for that. I don't know what that was. Clicked nothing, did nothing. The stream just decided that, well, it'd like to go black screen for a second.
I think that's your computer. Mine didn't go black. But anyway, 177 Tibo, the Valkyrie X-Type, blasting its way around the track, around the 180R for one of the last time. I think let's get to 110 laps, maybe 112. 4 more laps, my prediction. How about yours?
I say about 3 more. So we have this one, and then 3 more after this one.
Yep, that's what I was saying. That's what I meant. I'm not. I mean, down the chicane straight.
It's going to be close though. It could well be 2. I'm gonna go with 2 here.
You're going to go for 2. We do have 3 minutes and 5 seconds now left of the race. Elton touches the grass once again. He's pushing that Porsche to the limit, trying to find the fastest lap.
Well, let's give this second to last lap a proper on-board lap. It is white flag time here at Magny-Cours. This is the last lap. There is Barry on the right hand side waving the white flag. Thibaut is on the white flag. He's been dominant throughout this whole race. The gap is now up to 30.7 seconds. That was an onboard lap on board with our leader and what will probably be our winner. But we can't talk too soon. He can still run out of fuel. Everything can still happen on this last lap, which can deny them from a lead. Gazak's kicked in a little bit too late. Gap is down to 60.4 seconds for P2, but they won't get anywhere. Thibaut Prévost, he's been leading from start to finish. There isn't one lap that he has not led. He's led every lap here this evening. And well, I think he's more than a deserved victory if he can come across the line at the end of this lap. As Racing Agenda would then have thrown in the towel. They said, let's consolidate the speed too, let's not do anything stupid. And here we go into Imola for one final time into the right-hander coming on to the chicane straight. It's been an incredible 3 hours of driving from Thibaut. Valkyrie X, I will be very happy. No teammates for him, but they'll be very happy with this result. And it's going to be Thibaut who's going to come across the line to take victory in the 3 hours of Magny-Cours. Congratulations, of course, to the Valkyrie X team. This is the team at the moment in second. The Firebird team as well. They are going to come across the line in just a moment's time as well. We will wait on them. They're behind this Carlos Miranda de la Chica team. The Astro Racing and Genza Moderna, they've driven superbly as well. 15 seconds is the gap now down to Gazak's team Lamborghini. What a drive from both drivers. Carlo Morera de la Chica across the line to take second. Gazak's Lamborghini also not bad from them, but it's been an incredible drive from Daniel Zoma without his teammate who's in Daytona racing in Daytona 24 comes through to take third across the line. This then is Juan Rodriguez, got the lead on lap number 97 and never ever looked back. Had an incident in the first lap, was working back. Without any luck he wouldn't have gotten there, but he got the luck he needed to put himself in a position to capitalize on it. And it's Rodriguez who wins for Firebird Sim Racing and takes victory in the AM class. It is going to be Darren Rutherford for Valhalla Motorsport in second in that class. And MBG, who are already in the pit lane, I think. No, there they are on the track, taking third in that class. Wow, everyone is across the line. The race is over, and what a race it was. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. And, well, let's take a look at the results from this race because, wow, this was an incredible one. Here we have Thibaut. Don't do the boring thing and come. Oh, okay, he's going to come into the pit lane. Do no donuts at all. I'm a bit disappointed with that, I have to say. But no donuts for us. Valkyrie X-Type wins, like I said, out of Astro Racing Agenda Moderna. Kazakh Team Lamborghini in third, out of Euromaster Esports in fourth. Trackside Night Riders in fifth. Boosted Motorsport in sixth. Seventh, Absolute Motorsport SRP. Rakar Esports Team Green in eighth. Rakar Esports Team Orange in ninth. Both Rakar teams finishing in the top 10. Firebird Team Thrylos, of course, finishing in 10th. Winner in the AM class as well. AZR Motorsports in 11th. Push and Box Tifosi in 12th. Skankstop Racing Van Gilze in 13th. Second in the AM class, Valhalla Motorsports. 15th is Platinum Racing Academy. And then 16th, we have third in the AM class, MBG to Esports Blue. A brilliant job by them finishing on the podium in the AM class. Destiny Racing Team PRL is 17th. 18th is the boosted, or excuse me, the Sports Vision 2020 team. Boosted Sim Sport in 19th. Protosim, after giving away the lead on lap number 97 in the AM class, finish all the way down in a P6 in the AM class and in 20th overall. MRP in Sim Racing in 21st. 046 Racing USA.nl in 22nd. Trackside Esports. XPD Emerald Endurance, Absolute Motorsport Astrolite Junior, and the number and at 26th, Platinum Racing Team Orange, all not finishing this race. Well, not what we would have expected here, Max. Some final words here on this evening.
Quickly, we do have a couple donuts that we're missing. We can see them in the background, but there we go.
The winner in the AM class knows how to celebrate correctly. Well then.
He does not care about those tires anymore. They've done what he had to do.
He doesn't have to.
Doing more donuts.
Oh, neither does he care about the car, it seems like. But Max, any final words from you about this evening?
Yeah, it's been a brilliant race. Thank you for having me. full 110 laps. I just want to say I did predict that later on. My predictions have been perfect this evening, or afternoon or morning, wherever you are. But yeah, it's been a brilliant day, brilliant racing. Fair racing as well, on top of that. Obviously a shame with the retirements. This track is a challenge. And yeah, it's been brilliant day. Thank you very much.
Yeah, well, I am gonna thank you all for watching. Sadly, if I take a look, no one in the waiting room for us for an interview, so sadly we won't get an interview this evening. I'm gonna thank you all for watching. I'm gonna thank Martin Hobson in the steward room, of course, for being the steward. And, well, the drivers have certainly made it easy for him. Not too much coming together here this race. And, well, we've thoroughly enjoyed it. And Thibaut Prévost says, 3 hours alone at Magny-Cours, never doing that again. Well, we can see him in the background coming across the line. Our winner, Valkyrie X-Type. Our winner in every class is Valkyrie X-Type and Firebird Sim Racing in the AM class. I'm going to thank you all for watching. I'm going to thank everyone behind the scenes, because without them, it wouldn't be possible. I'm going to thank you, Max, for once again being alongside me for an incredible 3 hours of Magny-Cours. I'm going to thank you all of them for watching. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Give us a thumbs up if you think it's worth it. And, of course, don't forget to turn on the bell for notifications once we go live the 17th of February with the next 3-hour endurance from Platinum Racing League. Once again, thank you all for watching. It was amazing to have you. Thanks to all the people who made it possible, and to Martin Hobson in the race control booth. We'll see you next time for round 5. Bye-bye.